Welcome everyone to a night on the DL. We are at session 52. We're missing, Warren, but as always, when somebody's missing, I will be role playing his character. BigYin, you mind getting us started with a fun little recap?
Why, yes. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Ignite Out on the DL, where a bunch of us nerds get together and pretend we're the cast a critical role. Um,
I think that's only you. I think that's only you.
fine, fine. It's only that in my head.
Yes.
I mean, God, I can dream. No, I'm in a bit of a whimsical state, in case anyone else hasn't noticed. But picking up from where we left off, um, so shopping episode done, we go back and we're hanging out in the pub in the Swinging Sword, and we're talking to the druids, and we plan out when we're gonna leave, and we get up, and the next day dawns, and well, it's fucking pouring rain. So we talk to the druids some more, and we decide, yeah, okay, we're gonna bugger off. And so we all get in the cart, we just kind of ride along, and as things are going, well, it's a little slow, and the cart stops, and so we're trying to figure out what's going on. We pull over for a rest because the horses need it. And then all of a sudden, a young purple sandworm comes erupting out of the ground as soon as BigYin decides to go out and talk to the horses. And there is a giant riding it. So that's fun. Um, though, with there was some definite danger to Ulrich, even though he kind of did lead the fight and did a lot of damage and did some really critical stuff to help Elwarin like get his lightning shots in there to do all sorts of fun damage. And
Saved your
BigYin
ass.
got, yeah, saved our butts, and
Just you.
BigYin got to do for some fun lightning stuff too. Yeah, well, yeah, he did save my ass pretty commonly there.
I think you might have
Um,
died.
yeah, no, actually, yeah, because Ulrich took a hit for me, I basically got to survive. That
And
was
the
lucky.
disadvantage.
Yeah, disadvantage. Disadvantage is key.
And what did we
Um,
learn? Stand behind the tank.
well, I mean, I went out to go talk to the horses. How was I supposed to know a giant purple fucking sandworm was gonna come out of the ground and then charge at me? I mean, come on. All I did was just try to do the druid thing. All right?
Sometimes trying to do the druid thing could get you killed.
Yeah, anyways, we were really lucky because we had 4 extra druids around just to basically dole out concentrated bits of healing all at the same time, because they were holding their action to heal us whenever we took damage, which was great. And Elwarin got some news before all this where he was talking to his dad, and apparently, well, the wolf friends we made way back when and got wiped out. Um, the Mr. Leader is missing. Um, there's been a definite kerfuffle in the forest. So that's fun. And then, yeah, so with all this going on, um, let's see. Uh, Oh, we did find out some interesting intelligence from the giant. While we were fighting it, Elwarin asked the thing if why it was doing what it was doing. Why did it feel that compelled to attack intruders on the road? And the giant just said, "Oh, well, because it's what my master told me to do.
Boss. He said boss.
And it's what my boss told me to do. He said get people on the road." So, but at the end, we killed it. We found it had a Black Earth cult totem on it, which we gave to Ulrich to add to his collection. Um, there was a potion of speed that went to Lando, a potion of immune to disease, a paraffin of health, which makes you immune to disease.
I don't think it's immune. I
Uh,
think it gives you advantage on saving
oh, it
throws.
gives you advantage against.
Yeah. You
Where did
have
that
the.
go to?
I
Oh,
think you
that went
have
to
it.
me.
Yeah.
That's right, it did go to me. And then a potion of superior healing went to Ulrich as well, because, well, he's the guy who's up front and really kind of needs it. Um, Elwarin got to unlock some new stupid powers for his already overpowered bow, which in a lightning storm makes him just fucking god.
You made a fucking
Um,
treehouse.
I mean, the treehouse is awesome, but I mean, I'm not complaining about the treehouse. But I mean, in a fight, in the right circumstances, Elwarin's basically firing rods from God at this point. um,
It's once
we
a day.
did some once a day.
Yeah, in a lightning
Yeah.
storm.
So we did some medical analysis with the other druids on the worm, and we found out it was really a juvenile, that it had been all cut up on the outside. Basically, it wasn't really ready for what it was doing, and the giant was basically doing it against its will. Xandro managed to get some venom from it, from the stink, cuts off the stinger and extracts some venom. And we continue to travel through the night up until we get to the clearing, where we part ways with our druid pals and plant the tree, go inside, get cleaned up, and kind of get ready to tackle the next 3 days prior to the rite of the Wicker Giant.
It's 2 days now.
2 days, sorry.
Yeah.
2 days.
3 days when you left, so now it is 2 days. And Xanderl also picked up 2.5 feet of that young purple worm hide that he can make something out of him, I guess or just keep it. I don't really know.
I did ask him to grab some scales for me, so
He can use it as a blanket.
Yeah,
maybe.
That's what I'm saying. 2.5 feet. It's a good amount. Good amount.
Yeah, it's a good sized blankie.
That's right.
Yeah, or you can make a shirt out
Roll
of it.
it in. Roll it into a pillow.
Maybe.
Yes.
Plenty of options here. Plenty of options.
My young purple pillowcase.
Y'all
Nice
got
and
purple
rough on your
beds.
skin.
Yeah, y'all got purple beds. I got a purple pillow. Get fucked. It's not nice to sleep on, but it feels good in my heart knowing that I kidless and did this myself.
True.
Cool. Yeah. So it is currently nighttime. It's 1 a.m. Warren decided to go rest up because he was tired from the night. Xanderl did as well after checking out the tools up on the 3rd floor, or I guess 2nd floor, and checking out what he could do with the scales, and he kind of tweaked with some things up there. On the ground floor, though, we have Ulrich, BigYin, and Lando chatting and drinking.
yeah. Well, I don't know about you lads, but I think I'll call it a night. I have a feeling I'm going to have a very, very difficult conversation with the lads tomorrow. I'll bid thee good night, and I'll hike my ass up the stairs to my bedroom and pass out in the hammock.
Okay.
Difficult conversation. What's that all about? Is he gonna be talking about how he's possessed by a demon to him, or what? Are we still not telling people about that?
That's to you, Lando, if that wasn't clear.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, does he not have a demon? Wait. Can you say that entire question again? Sorry.
BigYin just said that he has a difficult conversation in the morning. And
Lando was too into the beer. He was just chugging it along.
Ulrich would just, it's okay. It's just mindless chatter.
Ulrich was like, "Do you think he's going to be talking about the demon? Are we talking about that?" That was kind of the line of question.
I don't know. I feel like if I had to really decide how I'd react to him, I think I'm still mad at him. So I'm just gonna leave, not say anything, walk away.
Okay, all right.
I don't remember which room is mine. Oh, wait.
Top left corner. Top left corner. The one
without
keg,
the one without the book.
Yep.
and the one with the keg on the desk. You can always tell yours because it has a keg on the desk.
All right, that's where I'll go. I'm not even gonna say anything to him. I'm just gonna walk away.
Yeah, and I'd say like 5 minutes later, Ulrich will just be like, "Well, that went about as well as expected." He'll just head to bed.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So as you guys are sleeping during the night, all 4 of you get pulled into a dreamscape. And we're just gonna play this out in my opinion, really atrocious thing called Theater of the Mind. But just imagine this planescape. There's no there won't be combat. That's why I didn't make a map for this. Spoilers, I guess. But this is just kind of this is like a scene that I'm painting for you. So this is, yeah. So all 4 of you guys are just looking out, or 5 of you. Sorry, this includes BigYin. I shouldn't be excluding him. That'd be rude. All 5 of you guys are kind of soaring through the air. just flying, almost like the spell fly had been cast on you, perhaps. And you're just kind of soaring through, and you kind of just see the world below you. And the world below you is not the way it looks right now. You see roiling fire on to the east, just fire and flames engulfing different parts of the world. To the north, you see huge gusts of wind as hurricanes and tornadoes are being formed. To the west, you see massive piles of earth just getting uprooted and lifted up and crackling and creating massive fissures and massive mountains as the earth just keeps churning away. And to the south, you just see water and torrential rain and huge waves coming out from seemingly nowhere, just flowing into the earth and out and destroying homes, children, people, all this chaos in all four cardinal directions. And as you guys look straight down, you just see this purple symbol, reminiscent to that of which Useless pointed out to you and drew for you guys as what he talked to you with Oriath, the Fane of the World, the Eye. And then you hear laughter. 4 different sounds, 2 different genders, male and female, just laughing in all 4 different directions. And then you hear a voice boom. Will you save this or be the cause of this? And the dream fades to black, and you guys wake up and it's morning.
Wow.
Ulrich has the classic going back down as if nothing happened.
Cracking his back, doing his morning
That's right.
exercises.
That's right. Making breakfast. Normal day. Probably one of the better dreams he's had.
It's not his dead family, so yeah.
That's right. No nightmares or nothing.
Yeah, Ulrich does not consider that a nightmare. He can just consider that a possibility of the world.
Yeah, the mind does weird things when you're sleeping.
Okay, so that's what Ulrich is doing this morning. Let's go in a circle, clockwise from where Ulrich was. Lando, what's your morning looking like as you're waking up?
My morning?
Your keg is filled up with beer, as always.
Yeah, probably. I think I'll probably, rehash my fucking, rain beers that I got on me. Gotta revise those so they're fresh for the day. In the adventure that I will no doubt be on. Let's see. I think that's probably gonna be maybe I'll
head downstairs for food, baby.
Well, yeah, that'll probably be after, but maybe I do a little workout with Frankette.
Yeah.
Go through some forums. Been reading a lot of books, and everybody does that when they're training every morning. So maybe I do that. Just a smidge.
Yeah, and Frankette's just kind of giving you pointers on how to improve your stance and how
she talks.
Yeah. She gives you tips and tricks on stances and how you can interact with a reach weapon that you've never had before. This is your first time.
Yeah.
That you've kept with you. Obviously, you've trained with every weapon type, but this is the first one you're like, yeah, this feels right for me.
Do I have to actively engage sort of be like, oh, I'm going to attune to you or whatever, or does that?
That already happened. That was what the dream sequences and it forming.
That's already happened.
Yeah.
Cool. And do I still have time to go on my whatever?
We'll be working on that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It hasn't happened yet. It seems like you're gonna need a few days of working on it to get that mastery of this new weapon that you're hoping to get.
Yeah. Then I'll just go and eat something.
Cool. Yeah, Warren, very uncharacteristically comes down super late. Like after everybody else has come down, that's when he kind of moseys on along downstairs, and he just sits down, drinks his tea, doesn't say a word to anybody. As we'll get to you guys. I guess I'll get to you guys, and then we'll kind of reconvene in the middle. Mr. Zanro, as you wake up, your sword is gleaming and pulsating.
Oh, that's a first.
Yeah, it usually doesn't do both. It's usually one or the other when it's trying to communicate with you. It seems like it couldn't wake you from your dream, and it
Yeah,
just.
I guess I'll take a look at my sword.
Yeah, and as you grasp it, the energy that you usually feel when you are drawing from your warlock powers rushes back into you, and the voice of your patron speaks to you and says, be on your guard, young one. Getting thrown into dreams like that can be... You can lose yourself in those dreams, so just be on your guard for that.
I'll keep that in mind.
Remember, your soul is mine, not for anyone else. And he laughs and he shuts off the communication link. It's the same kind of he does this joke frequently with you. In your mind, it's a joke. You think he's joking, but he hasn't stopped. So you're not quite sure where if it's a joke or if it's not a joke.
Well, Xander's just gonna scratch his head and just be like a lot, just kind of like baffled with like the dream and like what's happening in the morning. So he's just gonna wash his face and fill up his gut, I guess. At this point,
Sure.
been quite a long day, or the previous day with the purple worm fight. So he's just gonna go down and find something to eat.
Yeah, like I said, the kitchen is stocked full of food. There's still meat there and stuff like that. So you guys have plenty of options available to you. And finally, and definitely not least, BigYin. What's your morning looking like?
I'll kind of wander downstairs, and I'll just kind of nod to everyone, say how's it going, go into the kitchen, brew myself some tea, and just make myself a quick plate. And I'll look at Ulrich and I'll say, I am going to be doing some reading and having a conversation with the lads. However, I was thinking if you and the others wouldn't mind going outside and perhaps trying to figure out what this Rite of the Wicker Giant is. That might I think it couldn't go amiss. If you, I reckon the tree could rustle up some druid garb for you if you want to go in disguise, or I could do a wee. No, I can't do magic, so I don't have to disguise self. But you could probably you lot could, at least you might be able to pass for a druid, maybe. But
You'd like us to use some trickery, wouldn't you?
And the full plate in the half plate armor, he's walking around. I'm a druid, yes, sir. That's me.
You're full of tricks, aren't you? And
he could take the armor off.
Ulrich walks by, like just looking at you suspiciously.
Oh well, if that's how it's going, a very good morning to you too.
He's still upset about learning about the blood situation, and you're a demon, so.
How many times do I need to tell you I'm not a demon? I just got one rattling around my head.
He's already walked away.
He's yelling this from across the room.
No, at this point I am just muttering to myself. I am just like, I am not a demon. He's just renting space in my head.
You're a demon.
That's what I'm saying.
And I go upstairs. I go upstairs
Demon.
and I just sit down at the desk and I start. I put
Chanting
food
in
down here.
demon language.
Shut the fuck up.
You guys all hear him
Hamana,
muttering in
hamana,
common.
hamana,
You
hamana,
guys all
hamana,
hear him
hamana.
muttering in common, but then, Lando's not really paying attention. He just hears the sound. He's like, he's speaking in demon languages.
He just picked up on the word demon. He's like, he is a demon.
I'm surprised Lando hasn't tried to cut my head off and take the demon back to Garfield to put into Frank.
I think he forgot. Now you've reminded him.
There's still time.
Hmm.
There's still time. Just keep
so-
yourself useful.
DM question.
Yeah.
What would happen if I just killed him and like he maybe maybe he probably would he turn into his demon if he died?
You're not sure, but you do know that Garfield said that he needed the demons alive to extract them to put into Frank.
Or what if I just gave BigYin to Garfield?
So the option was provided earlier, right, when Ulrich asked.
Oh no! I'm not talking to like I just will give him to him.
Oh,
And with no expectation that he'll come back.
I think there would be some communication that BigYin would probably have with Garfield before that would go down, right? A demon is like a demon, right? So Garfield's like, yeah, I can do that extraction thing, no problem. I don't really feel guilty. But you're bringing in a BigYin, right? Somebody who has, just like you, created a bond with Garfield.
Probably
I
the
don't know
only
about
one
that.
who's actually been nice to Garfield.
I've been nice to Garfield mostly.
I love that qualifier mostly.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Nobody's
He has been
Nobody's
mostly nice.
perfect.
Yeah.
Nobody's perfect indeed. He's got his Hannah Montana song going in his head as he's thinking about these things. Yeah, so BigYin, as you start to head back up, Warren kind of grabs you and he says, hey BigYin, I think I'm just going to stay here today in the tree. You guys can go out and scout or whatever you need to do, but I need to have a couple conversations with some people, and yeah, I think I'll probably be in my room for that. And then says it to you.
That's fair.
Says it to you, not really expecting too much of an answer, as he seems sullen, like he doesn't seem like his usual self, and he heads up to his room.
Yeah. I'll just kind of I'll pull over Cleo. I'll just say, hey, so I'm assuming I've gone up to my room. Once I make it back upstairs and I put my food down before I start looking for books, I'll just say, Cleo.
Yep. Hi. What can I do for you?
Right. Elwarren is going to be staying in the house. So if everyone leaves, Elwarren will still be here.
Mm-hmm.
He is in a wee bit of a funk. So if you wouldn't mind keeping an eye on him, just in case he's not feeling he's feeling a wee bit down.
Oh yeah, I already made him tea this morning. We had a conversation. He let me know, but yeah.
I figured you were on top of it. Very good.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you very much.
We got a pretty good relationship. But you definitely need to patch
talk.
things up with Mac. Y'all,
Aye.
you really pissed him off, man. It's rough. It's rough out here sometimes.
I cannot. I believe me, it was not intentional.
Mm.
I was about to call him up just now.
All right, just be careful. He is, as they say in our terms, on pins and needles.
Aye.
And by
Aye,
pins, I
reckon
mean
he
pine
would be.
tree pins, and needles as in pine tree needles. Yes.
I reckon the man is a right prickly pine cone, fit to rip me limb from limb, and I reckon I might deserve it.
Yeah, but we can't like kill people in this, right? You know that, like, you can't like.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm speaking figuratively, not literally.
Got it. Okay.
Right. Off you go.
Yep.
Mark.
You.
Aye. Now, I reckon you're right mad at me.
Yeah.
I
Do
understand.
you? I don't think you do. Do you understand what I've had to do for this? And he's just. You see him looking at the staff, and the staff is like mostly fixed, but the crack at the top is like not mending for some reason. And he's like, I don't know what the fuck happened. How did you? Ah!
I understand. We were in a bit of a tight spot. We were stuck in a hallway. There was a troll. There were a few dark elves. It was not a pretty scene. And I thought I might be able to force all the wind magic in a single direction rather than in a circle. And do a little give the beastie a bit of a push.
Listen, the issue here isn't that, right? Like that normally I can fix, right? You fuck up. Honestly, we expect it here. We expect you to break this shit half the time. The issue I'm having is I can't fix it. Something's wrong with my magic.
Right. Well, let's see if we can put our heads together and try and figure out what's going on. Should we do this up here or?
I
down
can't
before
feel
the
Pan.
map?
Can you?
No. Actually, I can't. I was wondering
Demon!
why. I thought you might know.
Lando's just yelling demon from downstairs. Demon,
Yeah.
demon, 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 demon.
Yeah. I'm talking to myself.
Yeah, of course. And the voice just like slowly travels up the stairwell because it's it's just a spiral staircase that just goes up.
Yeah.
Just the
All
voice.
I'm picturing is BigYin is just like shaking his head, going that fucking idiot.
And Ulrich just eating breakfast, reading a book, and like nodding his head, like, yeah, you got it.
Right. Assholes! I swear to God.
Max like what the fuck? What the fuck are they talking about?
And I was like, right, have a seat. Can I? I just pull up a chair for him, and I'm like, sit. There's no point in just standing.
You know
And
I can
wrote-
make my. Yeah, you know what?
Isn't he,
You know
like,
what? I need to bury the
tall?
hatchet here. He's like he's like 2 or 3 feet
What's
tall.
he
He's
gonna
not,
sit
he's not
on,
very
a
big. Yeah,
fucking rock?
yeah. He's sitting there. He's like, listen, I gotta bury the hatchet. This is what Pan would want. And he jumps onto the seat that's like 2.5 feet high.
Mhm.
And he sits. He's like, well, now I just look kind of ridiculous. My feet's dangling on this. Like, I'm like,
No, you look
and then
absolutely adorable. I wouldn't laugh at you to begin with. Oh, God damn it! Someone's ringing my doorbell. Go deal with this. I gotta go deal with this bullshit. I'll be right back.
The demon.
the demon is ringing. All right, Xandro, I see you're up in the tool shop. Do you guys mind if I switch over to him?
Yeah.
Cool. Xandro, what do you got going on in this tool shop here, buddy?
I just
It
checking out the
wasn't
scales.
somebody at his door. He's a demon. That's why.
It's a demon.
The
Yeah.
Demon's in his head.
Yep.
All right.
I'm checking out the scales that I extracted
Hmm?
from last night's
Worm attack.
arduous task.
Yep. You're looking at the worm scales and the worm hide, yeah?
How many scales did I extracted?
So you got
to
the
be-
hide, you got 2.5 feet worth.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Well, we'll get
Keep
back to you in a
going.
bit. We'll get back to you in a bit, yeah.
Yep.
2.5 feet worth.
But last night I was working on taking off the scales off the worm leg.
Yeah, so you have oh, you're asking how many scales off the 2.5 feet.
Yeah.
We'll say 50 just to keep it a nice and even round number.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah,
And
just
each
thinking
scale
what I
is-
should make.
Each scale is roughly 2 or 3 inches in length and about 1.5 inches in diameter.
2 or 3 inches of length. Okay.
And they overlapped like you would expect scales and kind of like mail in that sense would work, which is why you have 50 of those and that 2.5 foot length.
Damn. It'd be nice to use it for upgrading armor or something.
Yeah, it's possible. You don't
This way, how
personally
much-
know how to do that, but
Yeah,
somebody
I
might be
know.
able to.
Yeah. I'm just thinking what I should do with all this stuff.
You guys
just
do
so I
know a
can look it up.
blacksmith in town.
Oh,
You do know a magic man in town. You got a couple options before you. That's not.
Yeah,
and
but
this is just,
every time we ask something, he just gets needy. Fucking Garfield.
says. Anyways, I'm not gonna get into this.
Yeah.
So yeah, you get 2 options in the small town, but you would know like a larger town like Waterdeep or Mirabar. Like the bigger cities have people that would be able to work with this. Like you're not like, especially with your background in mercantile trade, you're
Yeah.
not. You would not be. It would not be hard to find somebody to work on this.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So I'll just keep on hold of these materials, these
Mhm.
goods.
Yeah. So you have 50 scales of just put young purple worm scales. 50 young purple worm scales.
Gotcha.
And then we'll say you kind of like wrecked the hide getting the scales out. So you have a how do I want to put this? Sorry, I'm trying to find the words to accurately describe
up.
this. No, I would say descaled and slightly damaged 2.5 feet of worm hide.
Gotcha.
So like if you found like a tanner or like a leather worker, they might be able to do something with it. But it is not something that you would be able to do anything with.
Gotcha.
I mean, you could make something out of it, I guess, but like because you have the tools here, like if you want to make like a water skin or something like that, but like you wouldn't, with your background, wouldn't know how to make clothes or how to tan it or anything, any of those things.
Gotcha. Understood. That's about it. Just thinking what the possibilities I could use for these materials. That's probably why I'm just like looking around.
Yeah, no, that's
The
fine. Yeah,
tool shed. And
yeah,
it's also like my first time here, so I'm just
yeah. You're just really admiring it. So the
Yeah.
big things I would say is it doesn't seem like anybody really within the group, aside from maybe Ulrich, has knowledge of using most of these things. I mean, the fighters in your group, so you, L. Warren, Lando, and Ulrich all know how to use the kind of the sharpening stone over here, but none of you guys know how to like really use any blacksmithing tools or the furnaces.
How dare you?
Oh, I guess you're a dwarf, so I guess you would have knowledge, but like that's not your specialty, right? So like
I'm proficient in smith's tools, buddy.
oh, cool, sweet. So then yeah, Ulrich knows how to do this stuff. Sorry, my
I
bad.
can't tan anything. I'm not a tanner.
Yeah, but you're a blacksmith guy, I guess. Okay, interesting. Sorry, I forgot about that. I thought smithing tools. I guess that makes that's the only thing that you would be smithing with. Blacksmithing is the only smithing.
Right.
Sorry, I always think of smithing. I'm like, but that doesn't specifically say blacksmithing, so that's why I always get messed up on that. But
yeah, I could be a silversmith. That'd be cool.
I guess, yeah. So, fair enough. I guess a metal worker of some kind. We haven't really quite put a point onto that yet. But yeah, so I guess yeah. So then Ulrich would know how to use the bellows and how to use the furnaces a little bit more. How to use the water to kind of quench the steel or whatever metal he's using. But the rest of you guys don't really know how any of that works. Obviously, you could take some time to train and learn how to use these things to a rudimentary level. Becoming a master would take years and years, which I guess depending on how long this game goes, could be what happens, right? But yeah, but yeah, so that's what's going on here. And by years and years, I mean years and years in game, not years and years in real life. That would be a wild. Yes, we play D&D to learn how to blacksmith, and then I, as the DM, have to learn myself how to blacksmith now. Excellent. I'm sure there are some games out there that do that, but that's not the kind of game I'm looking to run.
Sounds like a fun little field trip.
Yeah, a little bit. So yeah, that's what I would say. You would know what to do with those materials at this point.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I mean, you could maybe talk to Ulrich. You know, he's got military experience. He's been around the block for longer than everybody in the party. I think he's actually a little bit older than Warren, surprisingly. He's been around the block, so maybe talking to him would be a good next step with these materials you have. And you're all, by the way, fully healed and all that stuff, so you can fix your HP, Lando.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
And then I can get back my rage that I didn't need to fucking use.
Correct, yes.
But I'm not mad.
That's how you got it back. You were angry that you used it.
I was so angry it just came back.
It just got reabsorbed into your mental state. Yeah, so while all that's happening, BigYin is talking to Mac, and Mac is he kind of hopped himself up. What he did is the tree pulled some wood and created almost like roots that gave him like elongated legs, so he was no longer like swinging with his legs. His body is still fairly small, but his legs now kind of go to the ground.
Oh, so he's got stilts now.
kind of, but he's sitting down. So I guess for whatever
Yeah,
kind of still
okay.
slows are, yeah. He's
Well,
like,
Four-legged stilts.
yeah, he's like, this feels better, I guess.
I mean, you didn't have to. I didn't mind.
I mind. Felt
If you're
silly.
as long as you're comfortable, lad, that's all that's important.
Yeah. Anyways,
So
what's going on here? What's this
I
demon
relay
talk?
to him all the information, and I just tell him everything that happened. Like basically everything from when I first realized I hadn't gotten rid of the demon out of my head.
Mhm.
I just lay it all out to him because that's basically the timeline flow we were in. Because we touched the thing, got infected, supposedly cleared it out, got infected again, didn't clear it out. Went underground, fought the things, teleported, did all that stuff. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that sounds about right.
failed to dispel magic twice.
Yeah, I think I've failed to dispel magic. Like, yeah, so I just lay all of it out, and I'm like, that could be it. And that pesky bastard in my head, he keeps saying that Pan. No, there's this whole thing about Pan being a traitor, and then Pan not really existing.
Is it
I've been
what?
meaning to ask you about this.
Roll that back a little bit. What'd you say about Pan?
Well, supposedly, the bastard in my head, not that I believe him, said that either Pan was a traitor, or that Pan didn't exist anymore, or that Pan never existed to begin with.
Huh.
Aye. And I
If-
mean, admittedly, I didn't get the staff from Pan. I got it from some blacksmith and horse and farrier, a man who was quite crafty with weapons.
If Pan is no longer a god, that could explain. Wait, how do you use magic then? I thought it came from Pan.
Druids are never quite sure on that whole thing. Admittedly, we know it comes from nature. Some druids choose to believe that their power comes from a higher deity. Others believe that it comes from the nature comes from the surrounding nature of the world itself. And depending on the levels of concentration of nature you're in, it may be more powerful or weaker. I mean, there's a lot of theories, but druids were rather short on proof and a lot of whimsical waffle, if you know what I mean.
Max was always like, well, if Pan's no longer a god, that would explain why I can't fix this. But you're
Right.
still getting your powers from something. And based off how
Right.
you look, it's not your intellect. So
Sorry.
you gotta we gotta find some wood nymphs. Otherwise, we're not gonna find out what happened.
Oh, dear. I doubt there's any around here. What do you think? I think I'd have to go back home.
Where am I? I don't even know where we are, man. You popped us in someplace.
Right. Well, I'll pull out on the map and I'll show them where we are.
You put me in the fucking middle of the mountains?
I mean, there were trees.
This is why I said the brains definitely aren't the thing. Okay.
This Mac guy really likes to whine.
There has to be. We need to talk to somebody in the forest. We need to talk to somebody.
DM, would you pull up the map? Would you bring the map over real quick?
Yeah. World map or just Destern Valley?
World map.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'll just kind of indicate where we are. It's like, all right, Mac, look, we're in a wooded area. We're in a wooded area of the Desert Hills. Admittedly, it's not ideal.
Guys, look right here, roughly.
Yeah.
Give or take.
Yeah. So I'll just like indicate we're here.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So there are trees.
Oh, sorry. You guys are here. Somewhere here.
Oh,
sorry. I was too far up north. Sorry.
We're in the Somber Hills, right? Admittedly, not the most ideal place.
Okay.
However, there were trees, and I put the tree with other trees so it would be disguised. So you're not just standing out naked, but nowhere else to be.
Okay, so we got
admittedly not ideal.
We got like 3 options here. One of them is better than the other 2. High Forest has the highest amount of magical powers, and they got enough wood nymphs there to feed a forest. Crypt Garden Forest and Westwood are there. Not very strong on the magical energy side, though, so it might be tougher to find someone to talk to and figure out whether Pan is still considered a god.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he's no longer a god, that means I can't fix this.
Mm-hmm.
And if Pan is no longer a god, I need to find another person to serve to get my powers to fix your staff.
Mm-hmm.
And that will be then who you get your powers from. Wait, how do you use... I'm very confused how you use magic if Pan is no longer here. That's what was channeling into the staff, powers from Pan. So who do you serve now? Who are you working with?
Well, I never really served anyone before. I just like relay to him the druid traditions of my people and how it was always about a connection to the forest
And
how
from Pan.
and
It's all Pan based. We talked about
it
this.
was all pan based.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right.
We talked about this.
So I mean, I don't quite understand why I'm still able to do magic, but it hasn't changed. The magic still feels the same.
Well, you need to figure out how you're getting magic, because if we can use you...
Uh-oh. Say that again?
If I use you, and I use you as a conduit to fix this, we can realign the tree, realign the staff, realign me and the boys. It sucks that Pans no longer can be, like, my employer, but, like, somebody else.
I actually I've had a thought, DM.
Hmm?
Could he try to focus power through me? Could he and the boys?
You could try. May not work, but you could try.
Sounds like a terrible idea with your current
Do it.
mental states.
What you're saying that while he has a demon living in his head, that channeling energy is a bad decision?
Yes.
What? No.
Yes. Yeah.
Perhaps,
No
but
way.
Ulrich
Sounds
doesn't
like
know
chaos,
much
and I love
about me.
Let's see. What are those red potions that I had? Did I take the wisdom one yet?
Oh god.
Let's see. Bull strength, cat's grace. We used the cat's grace. We used actually I think we used the cat's grace, and I think I used the intelligence one. I believe I still have the wisdom check, but I have to roll less than a 10, and I have a modifier of 7. Which isn't gonna happen.
It's possible. It's a small chance, but it's possible.
Mark,
Yeah.
based on everything we've discussed so far,
Uh-huh.
if we were to go talk to, I'm not even sure I could convince the lads to wander off with me back to go find some wood nymphs. We've gotten distracted enough times.
Or just someone that's tied to magical powers that's kind of like you, that would know what's going on with the gods situation.
Oh, I know who to talk to for that. Do you mind waiting for a moment?
Where else am I going to go, man? I'm part of the tree.
Thing. I understand, but understand, Mac. I'm having a conversation with you. It'd be very rude of me just to hold up a finger, tell you to wait, and then just go vacant for any length of time.
Character growth here, ladies and gentlemen. Character growth has started. He's no longer mid-conversation, finger up, now tuning into a different channel. He is now letting you know what's happening. Character growth, indeed.
Bastards. Why do you always have to make fun of me?
Because that's the rest of our character growth.
Every other time I've done this, it's been an extremis. It's been an extremis. Ugh. Admittedly, I'm not in a rush. We've got time. If I were to have a conversation with someone via magical means, would you mind? I just want to let you know that I could do this and that I might have some information.
Well, I'll just come
And-
back when you're ready. Like I can.
Hey, that'll do.
All right.
Very well. Thank you very much, Mac.
The chair. He kind of pops out of that and just goes back into the wood.
Right. Did you take the staff with him or did you leave it with me?
Staff's with him.
Okay.
Or you can ask him if you want the staff. He just
No,
kept
it's
it because
cool.
he had it with him the entire time.
That's fine. I will go to the amulet and try and reach out to Elwarren's dad.
The ring?
Yeah, the ring. So I keep I think of it as an amulet because I have it around my neck.
Yeah, but it's a ring because you got
Yeah.
the other amulet, right? So you got
It's a ring.
be careful.
Yeah, it's a ring.
Go.
Proto Beckons.
Yeah. We'll find
Well,
out
I
if he
don't
needs to
have
get
any-
tossed in the fire.
I gave the cultist amulet back
Is it your
to-
precious?
Probably, dude.
I gave the cultist amulets back to Ulrich. So
So you have
I
the
only
para. You have the
I
parry
have
app.
the Periapt. You're right.
I feel like I have one of those.
I have the
Probably.
ring, so I'll just kind of like grab the ring in my hand and I'll try reaching out to Elwarren's dad.
You hear a ping, and you hear a busy signal, as he is in conversation with somebody else already.
That's not good. Well, I guess it'll have to wait. Wait a moment. I'm surrounded by druids. Yeah, there's an idea. And I'll go downstairs,
Okay.
and I'll stop in the common. I'll come down here. I'll stop here in the forge room because I hear the I hear the tools. How's the work going? What are you working on?
Not working on anything, just checking out the tools and all that. Just admiring this facility in general.
Right, put a wee bit of work into it. Quite nice. Oh well.
Uh,
I'm
yeah.
going out to go talk to some druids. Do you want to come along?
Ah, yes. Well, pretty curious what these people are gathering around here for. So, like, more information gives us a more advantage, right?
Hi, I think so.
Sounds
cool.
good. I'll tag along.
And I'll go down to the ground floor and I'll just kind of shoot a rude look. I'll shoot a rude gesture over at Lando because he's still saying demons. And I'll go over to Ulrich and I'll say, right, Mac's given me a wee bit of a few things to think about. I have some information to gather, not necessarily related to the ritual of the Wicker Giant, but I reckon I can go and ask about that as well. And if I'm asking other questions, it will then be as suspicious. Are you going to sit here reading your book, or would you like to come along? Assuming you'll take off the armor and put on a robe so you're not clanking about.
Why would I take off my armor?
Oh, fit in a bit more, be inconspicuous.
They, didn't we walk over
You know,
here?
Conspicuous is his middle name.
Um,
Remember, we're in a tree that we're a wee bit away from anyone that can see us.
right. Okay, hold on. Let's take a step back.
Yeah, so Ulrich, this may be something you missed.
Yeah.
You guys are about an hour away from the camp.
Sure.
Due southwest of where you guys could see when you guys got there at night with the bonfires are lit, you could see that it's about an hour northeast of your current position.
Right, but we came in with 4 druids, right?
Yep, and they left. They went to go hang out with their friend.
Right. But we didn't tell them to be secret about us.
No.
So and they saw us fighting.
The druids, yes, because they did heal you, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so that's what Ulrich is more like. Cat's out of the bag.
That's a fair point.
You know, we're
That's a
gonna
fair
be.
call. All right. Well, do you want to come along or not?
Well, yeah. I mean, who knows when they're gonna be springing the trap? So gotta be ready.
And you got me on the logical side. I can't remember. Do we have speaking stones, or any way of communicating with? Do I have any way of
Yes.
communicating with this
Bill
guy?
Warren has them.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Warren has them. Great.
Lauren, you can get it if you knock on his door. He'll probably give you
Actually,
one.
Right. I'll be right back just in case we need to get the hold of Lando. I'll go upstairs.
Well, what if Lando wants to come?
I
Yeah,
just
you didn't even ask me, you dick.
Just showed,
Yeah.
gave him an angry look.
I made a rude gesture at him.
Flip
I
the
basically
bird.
gave him the 2 fingers. I gave him the 2 vertical fingers.
What Lando did
Bird.
as he jumped into the hot springs last night is what he's receiving right now.
Well,
Go take
Lando,
another bath.
you interested in picking up the body? Should BigYin get eaten by some sort of giant tree monster or something?
Demon.
Right?
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
Gotta keep
Let's
an
do
eye
it.
out.
I
We can
just
go
kind of
get
like
him.
I'll
I can combat loot his body.
I'll just stick my head out the door, make sure everything's good. And
Did
do I
you
see
get
anyone?
the stones?
Well, is he
like
coming
one
with
stone?
us or not?
I'm saying,
Are
but
you coming with us or not?
you keep a sending stone
you
with
still-
El Warren so he could
Yeah.
hear what's going on too.
I'm still gonna go get the stone.
Yeah,
and
so
I'll
he-
go up
oh.
here and knock on his door.
Yeah, El Warren gives it to
And-
you. He's like he when you knocked, he's in like a deep like conversation with somebody else via telepathic link. But he kind of
Talking to your
sees you.
dad.
He's like, yeah, sorry, 1 second. And then he kind of goes back to his like talking in his head. And he says, yeah, what's up?
You're talking to your dad.
Yes.
I need to have a conversation. I may need to have a conversation with him later. That explains why I couldn't talk to him previously. I need one of the speaking stones. We're going out.
Oh yeah, here. He gives
I
you.
catch it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if I need you, I'll call you.
Mhm.
Wait, I don't need a speaking stone though. I have the ring. I
But
have.
if he's talking to somebody,
That's true. Right. And then I go back downstairs and I'm like, right, I got the speaking stone. Let's go. And I'll stick my head out the door. And do I see anyone?
no,
Are you gonna make me roll for it?
No, there's
or am
nobody
I
around.
passive?
Nobody around.
Cool. Right, out the door, lads, and we leave.
Before I head out, I tip my hat of disguise and I change myself to look like a human druid, and then
Okay.
I conjure a quarterstaff
Okay.
and like tag along.
You can just grab one from upstairs also.
Oh, that's true. I guess I'll do that.
Yeah.
Now, does anyone think it's weird that a giant was riding a purple worm?
Certainly thought so.
All right. You
You
know,
just
I
saying
don't
that
know if
out
we...
loud, or how
Yeah,
are you
well,
talking to
everyone-
him? Oh, you're
Yeah,
still
out
in there.
loud.
Oh, we're all
Yeah.
downstairs.
Yeah,
Okay,
everyone's
cool.
finally together.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, so Ulrich's like,
So we're gonna talk about that worm thing. At all?
yeah, we just sort of walked off of that one, right? Like, it's weird, right?
Mm-hmm.
It certainly was different.
It is wormying.
Like, now I can
Okay.
understand, like,
One second. That was good. Lando, that was a good pun. I just think the garbledness of it made it tough for other people to laugh.
Oh no,
Well,
I
I'm-
understood it. I'm still ignoring it. I'm ignoring
Yeah.
how bad that pun was.
I mean, I don't know. It was hard because it was like worrying, wormy. I should have overpronounced the M and the Y so that you could have understood. But it was
Yeah.
all right. I know. Honestly, it didn't feel right as soon as I said it.
I just
and
wanted to
then
let you
was
know.
like, you know what?
I heard
I'll
you.
respect it for the choice. And I
Yeah.
appreciate you stopping and making a right fool of me. But we can continue on and just disregard.
I just wanted to acknowledge the attempt.
Attempt?
I thought it was
Lando,
a fairly.
I'll take it.
I thought that was a
Lando,
pretty good
I
attempt.
just want you to
Dude, I
know
just
that
have not been feeling myself with my one-liners lately. I'm just trying to, gotta work my way back in. You know?
Yeah, it's all
Gotta
good.
start from the bottom.
All I'm saying is I liked it. I thought that
Now
was
we're
that was
here.
a good one. I thought that was a good one-liner because we haven't heard one in a while. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah.
All right,
Yep.
all right. Back to what you guys were saying. Sorry, back to our regularly scheduled program.
Yeah. I mean, Ulrich does hear the wormying and just sort of continues on.
Yeah.
Like, now we've all ridden tamed animals before, right? That's not really the worrying part. And he makes a pointed look at Lando when he says worrying correctly. What is worrying is a giant was underground for presumably an extended period of time.
Maybe it's a hill giant. Who knows?
I mean, he
Can they
did have-
survive
he-
underground?
Well,
He may have
they
had
do
the
speak-
favor of the earth. I mean,
True.
we don't know what the capabilities of those cult.
Wait, didn't he
those,
have an Earth
multi
cult
things
thing?
are.
He was definitely an
Well,
Earth
yeah.
dude.
It definitely.
Definitely.
So they have the ability to breathe underground?
Yes.
All right, yeah, that's the worrying part. If that's true, like that's some pretty strong.
I guess we better start flying like we did in my dream, I guess.
I love how nobody talked about the dream or anything either, too. That's just completely just, yeah.
And we'll be leaving and discussing while we head out, right?
If you want,
but
is this a conversation you want to be having in open air?
I don't see why
Or
not.
to arrive at the camp anyway, so.
Yeah, it's gonna take you about an hour to get there, so yeah, you get
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, so we have the conversation until we get to a place where it's no longer safe to talk casually.
Yeah, we'll say about 30 minutes. Like 30 minutes there, you feel like you can start to like see around, like, because it's a fairly flat area that you're walking into. It leads up to like a mountain space, but the area around is like fairly flat. And as you're looking around, you see that there's people that seem to be camping out like around this kind of hill where the ceremony is supposed to be taking place, but they're not in there yet. Like they seem to be just like getting ready to get onto the hill, sort of thing. And as you guys see that, that's when you guys probably would stop.
Now, flying will be a good idea, right? But we do have the air cultists. They did try to kill us before. Well, I guess they captured us. Well, they did try to kill us. I'd say they tried to kill us. They're
Did we work with them afterwards?
For them.
Yes, we did. Thank you for bringing that one up again.
It was you,
yeah,
Rolls, who decided to fight them.
Captured us, kept a bag on our head all day.
I think it was only you, man.
No, there were two of us.
Oh, it was you and Crumble. Yeah, you and Crumble.
Yeah. And y'all were like, oh, well, y'all seem trustworthy folks. Let's do some work for you. Me and Cromwell were like, what the fuck? They literally kidnapped us.
We got paid, didn't we?
They're fucking cultists. All right. Okay. Now you got me heated.
Now you know how I feel every time you open your mouth about the bloody cultists. Blah, blah, blah. Cultists.
Zenral's just very confused.
Blah, blah, blah,
yeah.
Ulrich's like, look around. Literally everyone's a cultist.
Zenral's sitting here like...
Blah, 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 blah.
Zenral's like, I don't know what the fuck happened. I don't know what the animosity here is for. I literally just got here, guys.
I just understand that that BigYin is just bitter because he's just tired of hearing Lando just say demon and he's just tired of fucking all of the bullshit and all of Ulrich's suspicion.
Stop being a
fucking
fucking demon,
enough.
and then I won't say shit.
That's a good point.
I cast Minor Illusion behind BigYin and then have it say demon.
You fuckers!
It's like clouded words above his head that just says demon.
Ulrich just starts nodding his head while still like arguing.
Did you knock that shit off before the druids see it? They'll think, oh, for fuck's sake.
What? They'll know the truth.
Yes.
Right. So
yeah. So you guys just keep doing that for about 30 minutes, and we'll kind of move on from there. I love the banter personally, but you know we got a game to keep going playing through.
No, this is all I want to do for the next.
Just yell at BigYin.
Of our lives.
Oh, is it still dark?
I mean, oh yeah, I guess I can fix that. 1 second. That is a thing I can do. I forget about that. Ta-da!
Wow. Bright.
Is that a fucking wolf?
It's a bear.
It's a bear.
Kind of sketch.
Yeah. So let me describe the place out to you real quick. Give me a hot second to get to that. Yeah. So as you guys are kind of rolling up to the space, it's a interesting it's interesting mountain. There seems to be kind of paths kind of stretching out from the base of the mountain up through the hill. And as you guys are kind of looking up, this is kind of grading on the hill. So like as you're walking up this way, you are walking like up. It's not super duper steep, so like it's definitely walkable, but you're going up a mountain, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
for this part. Here, it's kind of, I think, more like switchback. It's still a little elevated, but you're not going a little bit up like this. And yeah, as you guys kind of walk through, you see a group of druids that are just kind of chilling out, relaxing, having a good time. They're 2 male and 2 female druids that are just kind of sitting by a campfire. Campfire's out. It's morning. They're singing songs. One of them's playing a lute. 2 of them are dancing. And you see 2 elks behind them.
Oh, I knew a guy who used to play a lute.
Yeah, I knew him for a couple days.
Yeah, he's dead now, but
Yeah, that was a rough one.
And that's
for that guy.
and that is the conversation you guys have as you approach them. Sorry.
Yeah,
Warren
we're
is not there. 1 second. Let me move this.
we're definitely gonna be getting attacked here. I can feel it.
You feel it in your bones?
Yeah, I mean, look, these people are, no offense, BigYin, they're hippies.
That guy with the lute couldn't feel it,
Mm.
except for the hammer.
Yeah. So as you, I mean, do you guys approach them? Like approach their encampment? Are you guys just kind of talking about them? You know, like
I
30
think,
feet away.
I think Ulrich is fairly standoffish. Like, he's not really gonna engage
Okay.
really any of these people because he's literally ready to be attacked by all of these people all at once
Sure.
as soon as something gives the like signal.
Yeah. The 2 druids in the back here, both female, kind of stop dancing as they see you guys approach. They're like, yes, come, friends. We have drink, we have food, we have dance, we have song. Come, sit down with us.
I like look at BigYin and like motion like.
Okay, so
I'm listening.
as Lando is approaching from like a weird like angle, like yeah, come
And
sit down.
I'm just like sidestepping, you know.
Sure, yeah.
I'm not like
He's-
going
he-
directly there. I'm just
He's like walking like a crab as he like gets there. He's just walking sideways as
Yeah.
he watches them.
yeah, and I'm
Um,
staring at them.
yeah, he's
while
staring
I,
at them while
you
walking
know,
sideways. Yeah,
while I spit.
you spit at them.
No, not at them. I just let it like drool down my mouth so that they're afraid of me. They think I'm dumb. You know, I want to set them. I want to set them at ease.
I don't know what kind of role this needs to be. 1 second
He's
to
trying
gather
make
my
himself-
thoughts.
He's trying to make himself seem simple.
I know,
like he's
I know.
drooling and
I'm
dribbling.
trying to. I think this is a performance check because you're not that dumb.
I failed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay, so the druids just kind of look at BigYin as they feel like the kind of druidic energies. They're like, "Is your friend all right?"
He's just being a wee bit silly, trying to make you feel at ease around him.
That
Just
actually makes me
humor him.
more concerned because like, he's like,
How would he know that? How would BigYin know that? He doesn't know that.
BigYin doesn't know that. Yeah. So BigYin says whatever he says, right? And they say he's like forcing drool down his lips, and it's just like a flood of water coming from the bottom.
Honestly, sometimes I don't even know what the man does. I mean, he's
Are you-
all right for a barbarian, but
Are you-
sometimes I don't even understand the man.
Are you okay, sir? Do you have some healing? Are you in need of healing? Is your jaw broken? They're talking to
No.
you, Lando.
Nope.
He just doesn't say anything.
I just say no.
Oh, you can close your mouth. I don't quite know what's happening.
No.
Oh, does he only know one-word answers?
No,
Looking at you.
No.
He's just being a bit thick. He's really not that. He's really not stupid, but sometimes I don't understand what the man does all the time.
Yeah. Mr. Zanro. Is it like a disguise self that you're doing, or how is this disguise thing working?
Magic hat.
This magic hat, disguise hat.
Cool. Is there a like check to see through it at all?
Well, if they do touch me, and like if it's since I'm wearing it's illusion clothes, so they could like see if it's magic or anything. But I'm probably not going to go that close to them.
Okay, then maybe move yourself a little bit, because like as you get close to them, they would go to hug you because you are in druid garb.
Oh, what the?
Sorry, that's why I was like, did you get up right next to these guys?
Nah. I'll be right next to the Landos, kind of like
Maybe put
somewhat
yourself like here. Put yourself like right here.
He's also drooling.
No, I think that's just you, buddy. I think that's just you. The druids are like, oh, well, yes, yeah, come sit. We have food, we have drink. Yes, this rite of the Wicker Giant should be fantastic. It'll be rejuvenation for the land. We are so excited. How about you? Is that why you're here with your guard? What? Why do you? Are you here for the celebration? Are your friends looking to become druids?
Oh,
As they kind of look around at the group.
I'm the druid. We're a wee bit of an adventuring party. We were in town. We were in Red Larch, and we met a party of druids that said they were coming up here for this ritual of the Wicker Giant. Me being from the high forest, I'd never heard of this particular rite before. We were at a bit of a loose end, so we decided to offer the druids a ride in our cart and come take a look for ourselves.
Oh, you're the ones that brought them over?
Aye.
Yeah, you had Trey, you had Longfinger, Luke, and Daggerman. Yeah, they're
Aye,
up.
we
They're up
did.
just a little bit further ahead.
Aye. We'll certainly go searching them out. Though I was wondering, I was wondering if you might I'll look at Ulrich and like, do you want to go catch up with the with Luke and the rest of the crew that we brought around while I just ask some questions? I doubt you're interested in any of the waffle that I have to talk about with these people.
Is he gonna tell them our entire life story again?
Yeah, Ulrich's like, why would I? No, we're sticking together.
As you
We're
wish.
not splitting the party. We're not gonna TPK.
What? Well, yeah, Ulrich's like, you know why we're here, right?
And I just look at him and raise an eyebrow, like, do they need to know why we're here?
Well, I didn't say
I'm
nothing,
sure
did
you'll
I?
tell them.
So, as a druid, I have some academic interest as to why, as to what this rite is about, as well as a few of the other religio magical implications it might have for deities such as Pan and others.
Weird. Well, so this is what we heard, because this is also our first time seeing it. Should be really cool. Should be really awesome. Should be really exciting. It's supposed to rejuvenate the land. Have you guys seen some weird weather lately around this area?
Yeah.
It certainly was raining a fair bit when we left.
Out of nowhere, right?
Indeed.
Admittedly.
Yeah. So, some weird weather stuff going on around here, and this rite's supposed to help cleanse the land of these problems and these omens and these evil spirits and stuff.
It all seems a bit convenient, though, does it not?
Right.
At the same time, there are omens and portents, because as druids, we all know there are always omens and portents. I mean, any navel gazer, stargazer, or any soothsayer who chooses to stare at the entrails of a chicken chooses to see it will see omens and portents. Does not mean that the omens and portents are true.
True. You're not wrong. But it's supposed to be a cool ritual. Reinvigorating ourselves into the earth, setting nature right. I mean, if it works, well, it rejuvenates the earth, right? I don't know how it works, because that's what we're here to see. But rejuvenating the earth.
At what cost is he?
I don't know.
Are we rejuvenating the earth with?
I have no idea. That's what we're here to see. So yeah, the into the earth was a slip of my tongue. It's not like they don't mean that literally. Like, as they're saying that, they're talking about it as a turn of phrase, but that's fine. It has been said.
Yeah. You gotta be careful with these sorts of. I mean, they don't know that either, right? They could just be saying into the earth.
Yeah,
but
I'm saying as the DM, there was no implication necessarily.
Right.
They weren't like, oh yes, we're gonna bury you fools soon or something like that. Yeah.
There's fucking earth cultists around. We
To
just met
nurture the
a fucking.
earth, he needs human lives.
We just fought a giant who came from the earth.
That's
So-
why that's why I was decided to reiterate. I was like, I realized that was a bad choice of words on my part.
You're like, oh
Um,
shit.
yeah.
The whole campaign.
Yeah, the whole campaign's completely changed now.
Speaking
Um,
in BigYin seizing on this whole thing of rejuvenate things to the earth, speaking of the earth and strange portents, did the lads mention the troubles that we ran into on the road? They were quite
Oh.
fortunate to have us along.
Oh, was that y'all? Wow, y'all fought a baby purple worm and a giant. Didn't seem like it hurt y'all. Well, they did say, and they kind of look over. That's why he's a little shy. I see. We heard he got hurt real bad, but then he got healed, so it was fine. But it was real dicey for a moment. They thought he was gonna die. He must be. And they all kind of like they all kind of like as a collective like look to get each other. They're like, that's what it is. He's distraught, and he's never felt like that before. I get it. We get it.
Wouldn't they say that? That man's been at near death's door a few times. I've had to heal him myself. Admittedly, it's not that it's a uncommon occurrence for him, but as a fighter, he is kind of directing the ebb and flow of the battle.
Now I don't really know what you mean by fighter. He seems to have weapons and a shield, and that's some heavy armor looking. Like I don't want to wear that.
He's quite strong and very canny.
Okay. Strategist maybe. Sounds like he's old. Is he from an army?
He was a general
Or
a captain at least.
Interesting.
I have a different question. Returning back to the question of the ritual and the religio magical implications.
Hmm.
Have you heard anything? My people, we are rather devotees of Pan in our way. Have you heard anything about Pan? I've heard the rumors about whether or not he's fallen
yeah,
from grace.
he's not a god anymore.
Really?
Yeah, it happened like 10 days, maybe 15 days ago.
15 days ago.
Yeah, 15,
Now,
somewhere around there.
How did that happen?
I don't know. We heard something about him doing something that upset some people, and he's gone. He's no longer a god, supposedly. I don't really talk to gods myself, so it's all hearsay for me, at least.
Now, no longer was his divinity stripped, or was he destroyed?
See, I don't have answers to that question. I just heard Pan's no longer a god. He upset some people, and
Insight check.
sure. And yeah, he's just people that worshipped him no longer have powers, is what I've been told.
Wouldn't they say that that they don't have powers anymore? Where is my...
Interesting. So by people, you referring other gods, right?
No, I mean like druids or clerics of Pan. They like lost their power for at least a bit.
Meant Pan. Who Pan upset it?
Oh,
rather than people supporting Pan.
I just heard it from around the block, right? A lot of druids. That is BigYin's name, Ulrich, in his Firbolg name. BigYin is his nickname. Sorry, I'll continue. Yeah, so they just heard it from other druids, it seems, around that may or may not have been worshiping Pan and lost their powers for a minute before they realigned who they needed to be working for, or like who they needed to channel through. Yeah, your insight check, BigYin. This is pretty much what they got. They don't really have any more information for you, and they seem to be telling you the truth from what you can tell.
Well, do you think anyone else here might have any more information about Pan? This is very enlightening, slightly disconcerting.
There's one older lady up north that your four friends were hanging out with. She might have some more information, but so it's all really all we got.
I appreciate your information. May the blessings of the forest go with you. And then out of character DM, I need to step away for a hot second.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so all that information just got dropped on y'all. I don't know how much that means to you guys, because I don't think BigYin has shared with you what's happening with him personally. So that's just information dropped for seemingly no reason. I mean, you guys can obviously infer that.
I think Ulrich is grappling with a lot of information dumped right now that is very casually dropped.
Xander's a little bit confused.
I would point out that the BigYin did not reveal their entire past, and this is some major character growth.
Well, yeah, it's more the fact that everyone is just casually talking about how a god's no longer a god.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Like,
so yeah, so like in this world, like gods have like fallen and risen, right? Like Smokey the Bear, for example.
A big deal.
Oh no, it is. Like... But like these guys are the hippy dippy druids that you're thinking of, right? Really don't give a fuck. Yeah.
Yeah. Ulrich is just like trying to be super stoic and like, what the fuck? Like this is the first he's heard of. So okay.
Yeah, I would say this is probably the first time you've heard of in your lifetime of a god falling out of godhood. I would say yes.
Also, oh man, Ulrich is getting real upset with BigYin. So he hasn't been in contact with his god, whom he had assumed was giving him powers for 15 days now.
Perhaps ever.
About.
Perhaps ever. He may never have talked to his god.
He's also known that Pan wasn't a god because, oh boy, yeah.
Character decisions.
Yeah, Ulrich's again trying to be real stoic. Now's not the time to be.
Roll a
schisms.
Yeah, roll a I don't know, wisdom saving throw to keep your cool, I guess.
No, do deception.
Okay, yeah, deception's fine too. Deception's fine too, but
yeah, there we go.
Yeah, you're not holding in. You think you're doing fine. Everybody else is like, yeah, he's upset about something for sure. Yeah, no, I was saying, I was saying wisdom save to like stop yourself from like blurting something out was my thought process, because it's like,
no, he wouldn't say anything. He's just like,
okay, it's just
he's going through a lot.
Sure, yeah.
Recently found out that blood was taken from him to do his ritual.
Sure, yeah.
A demon recently found out that a demon's living in BigYin's head.
Mm-hmm.
And now just recently found out that BigYin has been hiding the fact that his god is no longer a god, and decided not to tell anyone about that. And now we're surrounded by a bunch of druids.
I love this. This is awesome. This is going to be the best shit ever.
Who also don't care that Pan, god of nature, right? Like,
yep.
Yeah.
One of them.
One of the many, yeah.
Sure.
Wait, so if these guys don't follow Pan, who do they follow?
There are plenty of other nature gods, or they just follow nature itself and kind of do its will.
It still seems like a big deal in the circle.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, right. 100% right. Like,
and they're just like, oh, that's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah. Like, you guys don't even need to roll this. They're not like sober by any means, right?
They're hammered.
There's a lot of things going on with them right now. Personally, you can smell it in the air. You can see it on the ground.
But they're high and drunk.
There's a lot of things going on with these four.
So if Ulrich wants to have an opposed wisdom check with me, I will gladly have that, and we can see who's gonna whether or not my I don't know, like he's gonna. I'm trying to see if he's gonna blow his top at me.
Oh no, he's not holding it in very well. He thinks he's doing a good job, but he's not.
Right.
I'll just kind of look over at him and just be like,
well, BigYin, shall we find more information?
BigYin kind of looking at. Do I recognize the look on his face?
All of you, everyone in the world could almost recognize this. This is the like disappointed father look, but angrier, I would say.
BigYin just shrugs his shoulders and is like, again says blessing you to the forest, and we'll be on our way. We'll go talk to. And I'll ask, it's like, which could you indicate on the map where the lady is, where the rest of the lads guys are? The other guys, are they up here?
Yep. Okay.
Cool. All right. It's like, right. I guess we'll go talk to the lads and the old lady then. Would you happen to know her name?
They would. Her name is Garyena. Garyena.
Garyena.
I mean, it doesn't matter how it spells, right? These guys aren't going to spell it out for you. Garyena. Gariena.
Right. And so I'll just kind of nod and walk over to Ulrich, and I'll say, now is not the. I'll whisper very, very quietly. Now is not.
Well, you
the
gotta move
time."
yourself.
I'll just kind of. It's like as we start to go up the path, I'll get when we get to this point, I'll just say, now is not the time. I know you're upset.
Yeah, no
I
shit,
only
it's not the time.
I only found out that Pan was not a god this morning.
I would
Not
argue
yet.
that's not true. That's a deception roll.
You've had
Well-
some random homie talking to you for days.
No, hang on. DM, this is my reasoning behind that statement just before you make me roll for it. Because BigYin still believed Pan was his god. He discounted whatever the voice in his head was telling him because he didn't want to believe him. Now, I get as a human, just because somebody tells you, BigYin is like, well, just because you're telling me doesn't make it true. And the fact that BigYin still had his magic, it's like, he didn't have any reason to doubt that.
Well then make a persuasion.
Yeah, make a persuasion then. Yeah.
Because I'm not. Yeah. So it's
You're
like,
not deceiving,
yeah, not
but
deceiving
you are
necessarily. Trying to persuade
trying
him.
to persuade.
Yeah. Get him to relax a little bit. Okay, he does a pretty good job. I mean, you can roll a contested insight check if you want, but
go for it.
Ooh, nice, lucky.
you're pretty confident that he is. He's telling you what he believes.
Well,
As far as I know, I only found out today. Now, admittedly, the voice in my head was telling me one thing. I didn't.
now's
believe it. I
not
thought
the
it was
time,
right.
like you said.
I know.
Now's
Just
not the
bear
time.
with me. Just be
The time
patient.
was hours ago.
BigYin is just like walking away, shaking his head. It's like, come on, we've got an old lady to go talk to. And he just starts making his way. And he just kind of nods as he passes other druids, waves, and makes his way.
as like
hoping everyone else is following him to go talk to the old lady.
Well, one sec.
Yeah.
You gotta move slower than that, buddy. You don't just get to jump across the map like that.
Okay.
But I think as Zanril approaches, Ulrich's gonna be like, "Am I the bad guy here? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills."
Lando,
Right,
you
is
coming?
that what happens?
Well, Lando, you coming? Just chill for right there. Like everybody will be following you. Is my understanding. Lando,
wait
you
right
following
there.
them? Yeah, you guys can have that quick little conversation, Zanril and Ulrich.
Yeah, so it's just like, am I the one of the
These
wrong
guys look
team?
like bad dudes.
I honestly view there's no such thing as right or wrong. Like honestly, like what happens happens, you know.
God
So
damn
if you
it.
make a
Alright.
mistake, you make a mistake.
Yeah, okay, you're one of them. All right.
You're one of them. You're one of them. Not Mercer, eat your heart out.
Zanril's no, chill out, buddy. Chill, Lando, chill here.
I cast minor illusion and then a whisper right behind BigYin's ear, and then it's Lando's voice saying demon.
Roll performance to see if you can get the voices to sound the same.
Oh no, it's cast minor illusion is just like I could do that with his voice, I believe.
What's
Do
the
I
spell?
realize?
If you create a
Minor
sound, its
illusion.
volume can range from whisper to scream. It can be your voice, someone else's voice, a lion's roar, beating of a drum, or any other sound you could choose.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, BigYin, that tickles your ear as you hear demon as Lando comes up from behind you.
Do I recognize this as an illusion?
Roll insight. No.
I just shake my head. I'm just like,
Because
"No,
it sounds like his voice.
okay.
And then
So,
what if I just look over at him and just be like, "What's up? How'd you get those powers? Was it the demon?"
Yeah, well,
I'll just I'll just wave at the other druids and say, blessings of the forest be upon you, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
I don't
these
know if
guys
you
are.
can keep saying that.
Yeah, so these guys, you see two guys are just kind of hanging out, sitting around. They got their hoods kind of drawn over their head. Kind of sitting there, just chillaxing, eating, drinking, nothing too crazy.
These two do not look safe.
Okay, look, they look like regular guys to you.
Yeah,
like,
they're just tokens.
this is just tokens, man. They're just tokens.
They look like the BBEG, the big bad evil guy.
The big guy looks
No,
very
they look
different
like
than this. Don't
small
worry.
evil guys.
Look like
Or
small
this-
evil guys.
small
Just-
bad evil guy.
Just wait till you meet the paladin.
They look like
the
Smeg.
oath
Small,
of throwing it back
minuscule,
paladin.
evil
Just wait
guys.
till you meet
There we
him.
go. Nailed it.
Fucking smegs.
Yeah, so they kind of just say, they kind of mumble, yeah, like right of the earth to you, blah blah, whatever they say, whatever you said, they kind of just respond back in the same manner. They don't really they don't
Did
really.
they- Hold on, this is very important. Did they say right of the earth?
Whatever BigYin said, I don't know what BigYin said.
I
Whatever
said
BigYin
blessings
said.
of the forest.
Yeah, they
Right.
just kind of say, yeah, blessings of the forest, yeah, all that.
I'm like, hold on. Again,
Listen,
what
man,
they say is very important.
I
here.
understand. Yeah, that's what I say. Like whatever BigYin said, I was like, yeah, earth, forest,
Yeah,
whatever
who got
thing.
Who got these guys panties in a bunch, man? Those other people were pretty happy, and we get to fucking just Debbie Downer over here. Jesus.
Maybe you can talk to them if you want. They're
no.
kind of just sitting there, just hunched.
I don't want to talk to them.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm gonna do an insight check on them.
What are you trying to perceive or insight?
Just sort of like their mannerisms. Like, do they seem? They obviously seem like not defensive, but like withdrawn.
Mhm.
But I'm like trying to see, like, is there a reason for their withdrawal? Like, why are
Sure.
they not?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, they seem wary of you guys as you approach, and like
No,
just
that's
happy to
understandable.
have you guys like continue to move along. They seem a little on edge to you, for sure. Like they're not like they're yeah, they're on edge.
Can
we'll call it
can
that.
I give them a once over? I'm specifically looking for cult paraphernalia.
Sure. Yeah. No cult paraphernalia, but with that 24, you see some additional hair that you would say is probably like they're hairier than normal people,
Yeah.
and you see them that they're wearing armor underneath their cloaks.
That's
Why
not.
would they be wearing armor? We should kill them.
Well, you don't know they're wearing
know that- yeah,
armor,
you don't know
and
they're
I'm not
wearing
going to tell you because I know you'll say that.
Just say it out loud. So you all want to die? That's why you're wearing
you gonna-
armor, right?
Are you gonna tell me that they're wearing armor?
Not
You're
now.
far
It's
away,
not
dude.
the time or the place, as you commented. This is going in Ulrich's mind right now to bring up later, but it's definitely going to be even more wary. So I would imagine everyone notices as we sort of pass. Ulrich gets even more stiff.
Yeah, I don't need you to roll. We'll just look.
Yeah.
You definitely just stiffen up as you like. You kind of do a once over of this dude, and you do the same once over. You're like, and you just keep
Mhm.
walking, like a little bit stiffer than you were before, but just continue to walk forward. Yeah, and you guys kind of get to. We'll say you guys get to here. You guys can move yourselves over here, roughly. So yeah, so as you guys approach here, you see a druid and 3 fellows, 1 woman and 2 men, humans. The human males, you guys can just tell from looking at them, are dressed in rugged clothing and breastplates. These 3 in the back are cooking food and kind of getting everything set up for the space here. They're kind of pitching the tents and kind of getting all that stuff squared away. She's like, "Ah, yes, welcome, friends. Ah, Mr. Druid, sir, how are you doing today?"
We're well. Are these your guards?
Yes, they're my companions. They kind of help me out, and they help keep me safe. I'm just kind of here on a pilgrimage, if you want to call it that, just to see this Rite of the Wicker Giant. But my folks thought I would be useful to have some people here to, fend off wolves or whatever I need to do in case I couldn't talk the wolves down. You know how it is.
I do. Wolves can be difficult at the best of time, and I want to give her the once over to see what I can see about her.
Sure.
Oh, he's just checking her out.
He is just checking her out. Yeah.
Mm.
Everything is a trigger for Ulrich.
That's right. I think understandably.
Sure, yeah, like I said, it's fine. I just think it's funny. I'm sitting here like walking on eggshells as I speak, just to make sure like I don't say something that would stiffen Ulrich. But I was like, but I have to keep it like how they would talk normally, right?
Yeah.
And so I've been like trying to be like cautious with what I say, and then I say wolves, and he's like, "Yep, wolves died. Got it. This is another fucking clue of my
We just passed a bunch of hairier than normal people in armor.
What can I
And-
tell about her?
Yeah, so you kind of look her over. Half elf girl. Seems to be wearing fairly plain clothes. Nothing too crazy about that. But as you kind of like look her over, you notice the three in the back stiffen up a little bit in the same way that Ulrich stiffens up when she says wolves, and are now kind of like watching you nervously.
And I'll just like raise a hand. I'll look over at the three guards like, I mean, your mist is no harm, lads. You can.
I
can
think
lower
that
your
would
hat.
only make things worse.
That's
Yeah.
what Lando says from the back. Yo, y'all need
You
to
say-
chill out.
Everyone
say
needs to
nothing,
calm
You
down.
look this girl over, you look right at them, and you're like, I don't mean you any harm. That's exactly what somebody who means them harm would say.
And I just turned back to the half elf girl, and I was like, if you don't mind, we'd like to pass on. I have to go. I'm looking to go speak with Gariana. She's got a few friends that we help. She's with a few friends that we helped get their way here.
Oh yeah,
have
of course.
some-
Yeah, you
I have
guys
some
can just pass.
ecumenical questions for her.
Yeah, you guys can
Thank
pass.
you.
Yeah.
Very kind of you.
Yep.
And I'll nod to the guards.
They
and I'll
they
just kinda
nod
keep
back
going.
stiffly, nod back at you. And you see Gariana hanging out. She's got
Her two small minions.
they're sprites.
I'll stop here.
Can
and-
I?
Small
Can I
minions.
see these guys down here from where I'm standing?
Sorry, I'm trying to see where on the map you're pointing to. Yes.
Hell
Yes. Yeah, you can kind of like look. Like I said, it's not like super steep, right? It just kind of slopes up, as like hills do. It's not like a super duper high slope at all. And from here, yeah, you can see them. You can see them just kind of hanging out. Yeah. So you approach. Okay. That's fine. What are you trying to learn?
Armor class
Lower.
and current hit points.
How many hit points do you have? Lower.
64.
Lower.
Okay.
Sorry, that's a lie. Higher.
Oh,
That's a
yeah.
lie.
All
That's
right.
higher. Sorry, I forgot how many hit points. Wait, what? No, I think I typed something in wrong. One second. Sorry. Oh no. No. We're good. Yes, it is lower armor than you. Yes, higher hit points. Yes, those are
Great.
correct. Yes, those are correct. Sorry.
Yeah, so Ulrich is basically just looking down this direction and staring down these people. Like he's ready.
These ones, right? Just
Yeah, he's
just to
looking down
verify.
at them, watching over them, but also sort of like in guard stance.
Okay.
Like
Just guarding the choke point that you think that
Yeah.
exists right here. Got it. Okay.
exactly.
Got it. Like I said, you guys could, if you needed to, like scramble up here. Like I said, it's
Right,
not super
yeah.
duper steep, but there's a nice path. So why scramble, right? Yeah. So as you approach Gariana, she's just chilling out. She's strumming along on her little harp, and she's just kind of doing a little song. And as she hears you guys approaches, as she hears you guys talking to the group down south, she stops. She kind of puts the harp down, and she just kind of sits there expectantly waiting for you guys. And she's like, you guys must be the four lads that my crew here came with. Thanks for
bow
protecting them.
before- I'll bow before her and I'll say, "Well met." How is she older than me? I'm
Yes.
assuming she's older than me.
Yes, she's an elf woman,
Um,
and she looks old for an elf woman.
I'll say, "Well met, mother. It is, it is, it is, it is an honor to make your acquaintance."
Yeah, honor's all mine, all that stuff. Listen, I know I'm elven, I know I'm old, but like I became a druid to kind of be free of those formalities.
I can see how you get along with my old teacher. He was nae big on the formalities either. And I'll extend my hand.
She shakes it as she pulls out a pipe and kind of starts to put some tobacco and some specific herbs in there that you guys saw some people down there doing, but in
May
higher
we sit at your
quantities.
fire?
Of course. It's not lit, of course. But it's just
Mm.
it's just here.
So,
Be careful of the sprites. They're tricky.
mm.
One to the left here is Flix. One up top here is Aphid. And they like, hi. They wave at you guys. Hi.
Aphid and which?
Flix.
I'll wave to them both and say, "Blessings of the Fortis to you both." And I'll look over at Darwina and I'll say, I'm not sure what your lads have told you, but I have questions about this Rite. I find it rather convenient and concerning. Additionally, there are some religio magical questions. I'm hoping you might be able to enlighten me on. And I'll just kind of I'll like wave the guys around. It's like, grab a seat. I say, "You may want to sit, lads. We may be here for a while." And I'll look over at Ulrich and I'm like, "Is everything all right?" Because I'm noticing he's looking down the hill.
Ulrich will look back over his shoulder and go, yeah, you guys go ahead and talk, and like pull Xanril aside.
Do you want to talk to Xanril first?
Yeah, let's do the Xanril actually. I think this will be funnier for me.
So I'm actively trying to be quiet and use their conversation to
to mask the sounds of your voice. Yeah, that's fine. And
right.
BigYin's loud, right? So you're not too concerned.
Right. Yeah. All right, Xanril. We got some weird shit going on.
Oh, what kind of weird shit?
Look, I know jumping at shadows sometimes. I get it. Those quiet druids that we passed, they were wearing armor under their hoods and cloaks. Right furry fuckers too. So,
Hairy.
Yeah, they might be.
Armor?
I might be. Jumping at things, but we have had some run-ins with werewolves. That's just me thinking. I'm probably wrong. But I've been looking at them, and they're pretty hardy. Like, they're strong.
I kind of get what you're saying. It's a druid festival. What are people with armor doing here?
Right?
Posing as druids. Kind of suspicious.
I've never seen BigYin really use anything metal.
That's true. Like, I assume that druids are more, since they're attuned to nature and all that, they don't like to use any man-made, particular things.
So that's why I'm on edge. I just need to share so someone else knew. You do what you need to do to learn what information you want to learn, but maybe don't tell Lando because a fight will break out.
Most likely he's gonna kill everybody, right?
Yeah, which maybe that's okay. I don't know. I didn't see any cultist paraphernalia on him, which is what I was looking for. Just the armor.
That is really, really suspicious. I'll try to look into that, if possible.
And then I will laugh loudly and awkwardly as if I'm forcing a laugh. And clasp Xanril on the shoulder and walk over to the fire.
Okay. Yeah, sure. During that time, Lando, what are you up to, man? While BigYin is talking to Garinia.
I'm gonna just let some spit come out of my mouth.
So you doing the same thing that you did down south?
and I'll just I'll walk over here and I'll just stare at the sprites.
Okay, cool. Yeah, as you kind of sit down and stare at the sprites as like the drool is like flowing out of your mouth, both of them kind of come over to you, and they start like messing with your hair. And do you do anything as they like start messing with your hair a little bit?
If I do something, that could be a bad move.
You could just talk to them. There's plenty of non-violent options at your disposal.
There's only
grunt.
one.
I'm just gonna grunt. I'll just go. Ugh.
They're like, oh, he can talk.
No, not grunt in pain, just grunt.
Yeah, they're like, he can talk. Hey man, what's your deal? Yeah, is that kind of underwear is that?
Wolf.
Huh? Why you got a big chain on your body?
Belt.
It's not holding anything. That belt's not holding anything up though, man. They're kind of like flying in between the loops of the chain, kind of like hitting your belly as they do that.
Did he get shocked
Why would they get shocked?
from my sea aura?
Don't you have to be raging for that?
Maybe I am. Nah, I'm not.
Just make 'em mad.
Yeah, I'm sitting here. I'm like, I didn't hear you say you were raging. If you're raging, like we can play with this, right? But like you didn't say you were raging.
That's all they're gonna get from me.
Yeah, and they just kind of like are like kind of like swirling around you, like kind of chittering. And before like that happens, Garni and BigYin are talking. She's like, yeah, what's on your mind? To you, BigYin.
Right. Well, I'll start by asking her. It's like, what do you know about this Rite of the Wicker Giant? It's not anything I've heard of, and quite honestly, I've heard of the burning of wicker men as a human ritual for propitiating harvest goddesses and the like, but I've never heard of druids engaging in burning, especially that of giants.
Yeah,
And
I don't think it's like meant to be a giant per se. You know what I mean? I think it's just supposed to be like a humanoid creature of some sort that's on a large scale, so we can kind of like dance around the fire and all that. I've never heard of this Wicker Giant thing either before, which is why I'm here. I want to see what's going on with that. I've never heard of it in my.
oh, DM,
Mhm.
sorry, I just realized I wanted to ask this. BigYin kind of leaning on his experiences with the cultists and knowing the symbols. He's looking specifically for. He has been kind of like looking for those earth cultist or flame cultist symbols etched anywhere. Have I seen any?
No,
Like
not yet.
even just passively looking around.
Not yet. No,
Okay, I figured with a passive perception I might have picked it up, so I wanted to put that on your radar.
no, you haven't.
Okay, cool. Sorry.
No, you're fine. She's like, yeah, no, I just I've been around for a few hundred years doing this, and I've never heard of this Rite of the Wicker Giant. Like, even when we were fighting those necromancers, like, this would have been great. So I'm curious, like,
You fought necromancers.
oh,
The last necromancer war was ages ago.
yeah, I'm an elf, laddie. Been
Aye,
around
that's
a
true.
few hundred years.
Very true. You're far more long-lived than my people. What do you know of my people? And I explain where how I'm from the High Forest and our druidic tradition.
She's like, oh yeah, I'm from the High Forest also. I got some like grandnieces and grandnephews around somewhere. Oh, are you part of the Enclave?
I hold up my ring.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You know Dara?
I know her, her husband, and her son.
Yeah. She's my great grandniece. Well, I guess sorry. She's an elf, so probably just niece. Retconning a little bit. That's her niece.
I will definitely, and I'll just kind of like I was like, I'll just like grab the stone. I'll grab the stone. Like, I've met your aunt. Just passively, just like. By the way, I've met. Oh, really? You're Elwarin's aunt? I had no idea. Just like I'm holding the stone while I'm thinking, hey, Elwarin, I'm talking to your aunt.
Yeah. She's like, oh, you know him? Oh, okay, cool. How's he doing?
Hey.
How's his aim? Has it improved at all?
I mean, I saw the man take out a giant. They took out that giant with a lightning bolt. The man's a broad shot. He's fine canny with that bow.
Yeah, he gets that
Downright
from his mom.
dangerous.
Gets that from his mom. She's pretty good.
Right. He's in a
Yeah.
wee bit of a funk today.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
maybe.
don't know much about that, but who knows? But yeah, I know. So yeah, I don't really know much about this Wicker Giant thing, but yeah, it would have been nice when the Necromancers roamed around. They destroyed so many places. Like this is one of the spots that like this used to be a massive, massive temple and hall, and they just came in here, killed so many different dwarves, and just wrecked shop. And now it's like in ruins. It's not even that great anymore.
I can tell. The world certainly does seem to have been ravaged in some places. I've heard on a side note related to this.
Was that meant?
As you know,
Sorry, was
my
that
people.
hem like meant to like trigger me or do something?
Yeah, no.
Or somebody else?
That was just like me. That was literally like BigYin kind of like clearing his throat and looking
Okay.
around.
Cool. Just want to make sure that wasn't like you
I've
needed me to do something there or something.
no, I've heard as I said, my people are well. We believe we are followers of Pan.
Yep. Oh yeah, did you
I've
hear
heard a
he's no longer a
disturbing
god?
rumor. I I I've only heard this today.
Oh yeah, he hasn't been a god for a while.
I was
That's
told
weird.
15 days.
Yeah, it sounds about right from what I was told. Most people that had been following him switched over to one of the other gods or just gave up the druid life because Pan was meant so much to them.
And I'll do a little bit of druid crafting, and I'll
Oh,
craft just like some plants in front of her, and yet I can still do magic.
interesting. So, still do magic.
I
I've never heard of that
I
before.
Yeah, it's a wee bit confusing. Do you have any thoughts?
Did you switch over gods?
Not consciously.
Not consciously, he says. Why do you say not consciously?
Oh, I've never. Admittedly, I was always a wee bit of a black sheep. I've always been told it was Pan, and yet I was always one for knowledge. I was always had a bit of a yin for knowledge. I've always questioned certain things about the Druid life and the Druid order, and I sought out magic. I sought out to understand more about magic in its own right. I mean, sorcerers are born magical. Wizards can learn magic from books, and clerics receive their power from the gods. And there are other druid, and I'd heard of other traditions among druids of just forming a pact with a spirit beast, or serving the will of the land around them. It's
Yeah.
the essence of nature, so to speak.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sold that Pan was any direct reason, even though I tacitly agreed that, according to the traditions of my people, that we believed in Pan, and I maybe perhaps had held lip service to the god Pan and kept my senses aware, open to his presence. But it's not as if I ever summoned a panic,
Hmm.
and yet, and there was a magical source deep in the forest that I found and that I guarded and studied at. I've not been, and then I've not been back for a while now. But
You-
I've seen things, and it hasn't caused me to doubt. But I have still. I am told that Pan is gone. That the great god Pan is no more.
He's no longer a
And
god,
yet,
yes. He's not dead, but he's no longer a god.
so then
Well,
my magic is not doesn't come from divinity.
well, that's the thing, right? Has it switched over to something else? I don't know. That's the conversation you'll have to find. Or there are priests you can talk to. If you can find somebody that talks to gods or goes to other planes, it's another way to think about it. Or
Oh God, not Garfield again.
soul searching. You could try to dig deep down and try to reach out to whatever source of power that is feeding you and go from there.
That's what I was thinking. Right. Well, that's interesting.
I personally never heard of someone who believed in Pan or any god for that matter, that god losing their godliness, and or at least in the pantheon, and they kept their powers. It's very strange.
I'll look over my shoulder at Ulrich to see if he is twitching at the fact that she's confused by the fact that I'm able to do magic, and that she's confused by my ability to do magic still.
I think this is when Ulrich goes, ha 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 ha.
Yeah, because both of them heard Pan and Pantheon together, and they just started making jokes as they walked back about it.
That's a really awkward laugh that after the conversation with Sanrail.
Yeah.
Okay,
Very
so, okay,
obviously
that's-
fake.
Then you hear
It
then you hear Ulrich say Pantheon without the Pan, and then Xander's like, they better just call it Theon now.
That man
I'll
has.
say, excuse me just for a moment, and I'll get up and I'll pull Ulrich aside.
Yeah.
Do
What's
you think
up?
it'd be all right if we brought her back to the treehouse? I wanted to talk to Matt.
Absolutely not.
Oh, nope, nope,
No.
nope,
No.
Perhaps when this is all done, then.
nope.
Just so quickly,
know what?
everybody's like, nah, bro, nah. I'm dead. I'm dead.
You know what? Yeah. Should
know
this
the
all
truth.
work out amiably? Yeah. Why not?
Fine. All right, I'll go back. and
I'll
say,
promise you this, and I put my hand on BigYin's arm. Should we not get attacked by any of these druids, she can come back to the tree.
I guess that's the best I could ask for.
I look back to Xandra like, oh boy. And I go back to
So-
a defensive position.
At this point, I'll be like, well, I've gotten all the intelligence I can. So I'll thank her and I'll say, do you know, I'll point up the hill a little further. It's like, do you know what's going on up there?
Yeah, it's where they're getting the Wicker Giant set up. It's supposed to
You
be
think we
going
can go
tomorrow.
up there and you think we can go up there and take a poke around?
Possibly. I don't know. They said they're still setting up, so they said to kind of stay down here. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know if they could stop you. You know what I mean?
I thought Xandra was just making a beeline up the hill.
Xandril stealth and is slowly making a beeline up the hill.
I don't know.
Just
I don't-
going around.
Yeah, I think he's just bored. I have no idea what he's doing. think he just-
There he goes.
Yeah.
That's what I was expecting. Someone.
Lando just goes charging up the hill.
Yeah. So are you charging up the hill, Lando?
Yeah.
Cool. Roll an athletics check for me. Cool. Yeah.
Nice.
Easily just chugging up the hill, and I'm gonna have you
I'm like, oh god,
stop
no.
there real quick for me. Sorry. A couple things I gotta do. One second. Mostly it's like getting my vision token dude ready for you to be doing these shenanigans on me.
And I look over to Big and I say, it's in the Theon's hands now.
Ready.
Yeah, so as Lando is just rushing up the hill, he gets this kind of like alcove over here.
I get to where I am standing.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like you see this alcove open up as you're kind of running up the hill, and it seems to be a old fortress that you're approaching right now, like an old like kind of old kind of like standout hill post that was probably used at one point in time for a kingdom of some sort as a outpost. And as you kind of look at the rocks have like rotted away a little bit, leaving these like holes in it and like leaving openings kind of all around. But it still stands at roughly 15 to 20 feet tall around the edges here.
Am I able to tell anything about the rocks themselves? Do I have the rock? Do I have the rock shit too?
Stone cutting.
Stone cutting? I feel like I do. I'm a dwarf.
It'd be a
Yeah.
specific kind of dwarf, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. Mountain dwarf.
No, I have it.
Nice. Yeah, so it's old rock. Like
History check.
Yeah,
Except
he rolls history.
I'm
with
super dumb,
advantage.
but it's
He-
18.
yeah. So this rock is old. I'm talking like 400 to 500 years old. So it predates the necromancy wars.
Wait, it says I get to add double my proficiency bonus, but my proficiency bonus is -1. So
No,
does
your
that mean
proficiency
my
is
thing-
your proficiency if you're proficient in it, right? So your proficiency is 3, I think, right now. If you look at the top right corner
6.
or top left corner, so you get to add 6 stats. It's actually a 24.
Huh? My proficiency bonus is 3. Oh, so I get to add 6.
Yeah, so it's 24, which gives you more information. Congrats.
Cool.
So
We
yeah,
know
so
a lot about rocks.
you guys know a lot about rocks, yeah. And as you kind of feel it, you feel like the sounds of kind of rocks being put into place. You can almost envision this in like your mind's eye of like dwarves kind of stacking up stones and building out this fortress hundreds and hundreds of years ago, taking a lot of pride in their work. And it was, a very well built, very solid foundation. And sometime between when they built it and now, so you're guessing based off of what you heard from Garinia during the necromancy wars, necromancers came in here and just devastated this outpost and keep. And you can kind of see from the way that rot is on the rocks and kind of in the surrounding areas around here. It went through some pretty harsh barrages of necrotic energy that kind of washed through its way through the keep. But yeah, it's still standing though, right? Like obviously there was more of it before, but the fact that it's still standing kind of is a testament to how good the dwarven smithers, if you want to call them that, or architects at the time were with this. Masons, yeah, stonemasons, yeah.
Stonemasons.
How good the stonemasons were at building this.
Probably the only one who's gonna run up the hill.
I just wanted to stop you there. That's what you see as you're running up. You can keep going if you want.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're the only one running
Yeah.
up the hill.
You can also stop if that's what you'd like to do. Yeah.
Like if you took a cursory look at Ulrich, you could tell looks like he's about to pop.
Well, I'm gonna look back at him and I'm just gonna wave.
You get nothing out of him. He's just
Come on.
like he's mean mugging these guys down here.
No, come on. Well, you can look at him from up here.
And Ulrich just like does that like super stiff like shaking his head like mm-mm.
I don't think he's getting it.
Right. Like but you can
Wait.
also tell like Ulrich's like more than willing to let you run in there if you want to go.
Well, thanks, team.
He's like, I didn't know I was doing this alone. Come on, guys.
Maybe going to a hilltop keep in the middle of the day. Not the best move.
I'm not there to go kill people.
He says, war
No, he
flail
doesn't.
at the
I'm
ready.
sure, like charging.
Shouting and all that.
ready to fire shit up for fun.
But yeah, I guess whatever you want to do, Lando.
You guys are a great help.
You just like literally ran up the hill.
You didn't say anything. You just started booking it, man.
Right? Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, the world takes Lando where the world takes Lando. That's the way I've always thought about Lando.
And the group accepts that
yeah,
from
and
Lando.
yep, and they play
Yes.
accordingly. When Lando is under fire, they will rush to help. But until then,
I'm gonna keep running.
yeah, okay, yeah. So as you kind of get to that spot over there, I need to do some monologuing for you guys in terms of what's happening in the area. Not like
Yeah, what do
big bad evil dudes walking up or anything like that. It's more like I get to describe the area to you as you get there.
As you step forward, the ground swallows you up in fire.
That would be a great way just to kill
Hell's
Leo's
demons just
character.
sprawl out.
And
Lando
they
screams,
grab
"Demon!"
and they grab at your body as he yells demons, and then he gets pulled into the earth. That would be great.
Damn you, bigot!
Man, I really want to change the entire thing of what's happening here just to do that right now, just for fun. The earth swallows up Lando, and he sees tendrils of black tentacled arms that are swirling around his body and just slowly pulling him down into the depths. But that's not what's
Yeah,
happening.
you know what? I'll switch to the dark side, accept the demon if we can make this happen.
Okay.
Yeah, I think without me, most of our encounters would not end very well.
That's true.
So
That's very
That's a
true.
fair point.
maybe
I
you
better
know only
I
one
better
of us is replaceable.
Okay,
and
okay.
it's not.
I've got this. Ready? BigYin. Roll a D100. If you roll a 100, I will change what's about to happen to Lando right now into something different.
No, I'm gonna leave it as is.
Okay.
No. Fucking roll.
Roll.
Are we really doing this?
Yes.
Let's go. Come on.
Roll a D100. If you roll a 100, I will change what's supposed to be happening to Lando right now. You did not. Unfortunate. The die was cast and it did not go into your way. So yeah, so beyond. Oops. Beyond.
So he's not getting eaten by demons. This is good.
It still might happen, right? I didn't say that wasn't the original plan. I'm just saying the tendrils coming from the earth, and as the earth opens up to him as he walks, that was the change. Not the other things could still possibly happen. Yeah, so beyond the kind of like rubbles as you're kind of like walking around here, and the like, there seem to be newer tents and like newer buildings kind of popped up here as you're kind of approaching this space as a whole. There seems to be a tower just to your north here that is roughly 30 feet high. That you can see at this point. The scaffolding here is about 30 feet. Sorry. The scaffolding here is about 30 feet. It goes up about 30 feet high. And the tower itself goes up about 120 feet in the air. You kind of see like all around there's like crossbow bolt slits as you're kind of walking around as part of the tower. And you see just kind of like different arrow slots for a defensible position that this tower was once, you guess, based off of your history check of the area. That's what this was. It was a defendable position for whatever dwarven nation lived here. And as you kind of walk forward, you see 2 guards standing over here, as well as 2 druids. And they say, hey, whoa. Eliezer's still preparing for the rite of the Wicker Giant. Can't have you disturbing him right now. He's very close to getting this rite started. We have to stop you right there, sir.
Why?
Eliezer's preparing. I'm guessing you're here to see him, right? Like that's why people come up here. They want to see the man, the myth, the legend of Eliezer.
Who's Eliezer?
They all look at each other. They look back at you. They kind of cock their heads to the right a little bit. Do you know why you're here?
No.
You hear a deep sigh from all 4 of them at the same time.
Do you think I can fight 4 people at once?
Maybe you could try. But they just kind of look at you and they're like, huh. Okay, so this...
I'd like to look at Lando. I'd like to look at Ulrich and be like, should we go after him?
I mean, Ulrich just strikes.
He's behind a tent. You guys can't see him anymore.
Yeah. Well, we can.
I-
I guess. Yeah.
I'm just gonna walk away.
I'm just gonna kind of start making my way back down. It's like, all right, let's go see where he's gone, and I'll just start making my way down the hill while this is.
I mean,
going
as he leaves from there, as like they're about to explain to him like what the Rite's about and stuff like that. He's like, I'm fucking done and tired of this, and he walks away. And you guys see him start to walk away when he gets to roughly about here. You see him past everything.
Yeah. As
As I
we're
walk by
walking.
these druids at the bottom, I'm still drooling out of my mouth as I stare at them.
Okay.
It's like I'll
Just to
just
keep that.
tell Ulrich if you want to follow him, I'll go up and talk to these lads, see if I can figure out any more information about the Rite.
Ooh, well, maybe we should get Lando. You know, we wouldn't want to miss anything important without all of us together.
I doubt what. I'm not gonna go and pick a fight. I'm just going to go ask a few polite questions.
Yeah.
I'll take Xanariel with me if you like.
But like, look at Xanriel. Is that all right with you?
I was like, yeah, you're making a bold statement for a man that you don't have
Yeah.
any control over.
Yeah. You comfortable going with BigYin while I go and talk to Lando?
I guess I could stay. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, you guys have fun. We'll be back soon.
Sounds good.
All right. We'll do the
Go-
Lando and Ulrich
yeah,
interaction shortly.
Go
but
run
let's-
after Lando. Yeah.
Who's like down at the bottom? Are you like walking back to the tree? Is that your intent right now, Lando?
No, I'll be there.
All right, cool. He's just hanging out down south here. He's just staring intently at the druids, and he's just he's forcing as much water out of his mouth as like humanly possible or dwarvenly possible. He's not a human. Yeah. All right. So we got Xanriel and BigYin. You guys are trying to head up the hill?
Yeah. Right, come on, let's go. We're just going to go ask a couple of questions, and then turn back down the hill.
Sure, yeah. So now let me give you a fun little description because you're not a dwarf. You don't have infinite knowledge of rocks and all that jazz. So I can give you the standard person's description of what's going on here. Standard person description. So as you kind of approach, you guys see rubble, kind of all around the space here, and you see some tents that have been popped up that you seem fairly new, but this space as a whole is in disrepair. Right, at once it probably was a fantastic keep of some sort, but currently everything's in disrepair. The only thing that seems to be standing still is the main tower here, and that is under repair by itself as well. So you see, like I said, you see a humanoid shape of a wicker giant over here.
Mm-hmm.
It's roughly 20 feet tall.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big boy. And it's just there. It's not they're slowly getting preparations. It seems to get the pyre set up for it, but it's just kind of standing there on its own. And you approach and you see 2 guards and 2 druids, and they kind of say, "Whoa, hold up. Are you here to see Eliezer?" The other guy, I don't know what was his. He didn't seem to know what the hell was going on.
He may be one of the. It may be some kind of guard for someone else. I'm very confused.
That
I saw him walk off in a huff. You never know with these. You never know with some people. The
That makes sense,
kind of followers, the friends they have. I'm playing this very confused.
Sure.
I'm not necessarily here to see Eliezer. If he's available for conversation, I'd appreciate it. One dude to another. I'm somewhat interested in the origins of this Rite. I've not heard of it. Being from the High Forest, I've never heard of the Rite of the Earth Giant before, or of the Fire Giants, the
Wicker Giant.
Wicker Giant. I'll say Earth Giant, and then I'll just say, "Oh, I'm sorry, Wicker Giant." Pardon, slip of the tongue.
I think you perplex when you say Earth Giant, but nothing else.
But I'm curious about this ritual and some of the religio magical implications it might have, especially for those who may be devotees of other nature deities.
You say Earth deities, they kind of look at you again. They're like, Talking about the earth a lot. You like a cleric of some kind or a druid? Like, we look like a druid, so my guess is a druid. But
How much to do it?
yeah, this is just supposed to kind of help restore balance to nature. A lot of weird weather happening around here, and yeah, this is supposed to be a kind of cleansing effect on nature as a whole, and kind of bring us back to a harmonious, steady state instead of having this wild weather. Today, fortunately, the sun is just out like normal, but there's been some wild things happening around here.
Insight check.
Sure.
And I also want to do a perception check to look at the druids, see if their garb looks correct.
Sure.
So I'll do the insight first.
Yeah. Nothing seems amiss by what they're saying.
Okay, and perception check.
Yeah. The guards are wearing fairly like heavy set armor. Um, for what that could be, you don't know. You could make the assumption that they're helping guard Eliezer from fanatical fans, perhaps. But yeah, they're pretty heavy set in their armor. The druids are in fairly regular druid clothing. But as you kind of like inspect the kind of druid clothing and the armor a little bit further, um, something about it seems a little off. But it's like how do I put this? It's like seeing somebody else wear clothing of a different nationality or like different origin.
They're
and,
wearing
like
clothes that they're not used to wearing.
not that, it's more like the fit doesn't look right.
They're wearing someone else's clothes.
No, not because sorry, I'm trying to find words to describe this. Give me a second. The way that it's worn. Have you guys seen Dune?
Yeah.
So it's not like holy shit, like you knew exactly how to do it without anybody telling you how to do it. It looks like it's not like they're wearing somebody else's clothes. Like it definitely fits them, but it's not. They don't. It doesn't seem to be like the like 100% correct way. Like there's like small flaws here and there with the way that it's worn, like just
Wearing
slightly
the
off.
uniform correctly.
Yeah, it's like very small flaws here and there, nothing too crazy.
Is this
But
specific to the druids, though?
yeah, just slightly off. Like I said, their clothing seems slightly off, but it's very insignificant. It's almost like if they had like they're not, like I said, not used to wearing it is the incorrect word, but it's like they weren't taught by a druid to wear it, if that makes sense. Like
Not
they're
so much.
it's
So it's not as if he will know you by your ways. It is he put it on, and he got it mostly right, but it needs some adjustment.
yeah, it's like they were watching somebody else do it, right? Like if had been watching you or your family put on this stuff, and they like imitated it to like as close as possible, but like there's just certain like intricacies that you guys have and know that you guys just do. And these guys don't have that subtle intricacies portion. It's like I said, 99% correct.
And knowing all this, I'll reach out with my arcane senses just to see what I can tell about them.
Explain what that means to me, dude. What are you trying to accomplish with that?
I want to feel what kind of magic comes off the druids.
Okay, roll Arcana.
I mean, technically that would be a detect magic.
Yeah, that's
okay, fine. That's fair.
Which is a spell, but I was just gonna give like if you're just trying to like
Right.
feel out like what kind of magic is in the space around them.
Yeah.
I was gonna give it to you with an Arcana. With 11, it's elemental of some kind.
Okay.
It's like
fine.
it's of nature, right? Like this is like their powers do come from nature of some sort. But yeah, if you wanted to cast like a detect magic spell to kind of get a better idea of like where their power originates from, you can do that. But
detect magic. But they'll know.
yeah, but they'll know you're casting a spell. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm not going to do that. But I will look at this one a little more closely, and just based on what I've seen, and I'll just say, is this your first time wearing this particular garb? You didn't seem comfortable in it.
So like I said, It's not that they don't look comfortable. It's just like slightly off, right? There's like just some
I know,
small things. Oh, you're just
I
saying that. Okay,
know.
cool. I just want to make sure
I'm
you
saying
understood that.
that's
Yeah, that's
their
fine.
reaction.
Yeah, that's fine. They're like,
I completely understand what you're getting at as the DM, but I, as a character, I'm saying I'm trying to see how they react to
Cool.
me saying they look uncomfortable.
that's fine. I just wanted to make sure the message was understood. That's fine. Cool. They're like, no, I've been wearing this for 4 or 5 days now. Yeah, it is weird. I'm newer to the druid lifestyle, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it's okay. Is it incorrect? Did I put it on wrong or something? They like start checking themselves, and then their druid friend like looks at them. They're like, looks right to me. Is there something off with the way that we're wearing it?
I'll go up and adjust one of them, and let's just start kind of fixing it and bringing it into line. And there are just small flaws and imperfections that, well, to a trained eye, it made you seem new. How did you become druids?
Oh, Eliezer recruited us.
From where?
All around. That one came from Waterdeep. I came from the High Forest. I didn't like live in the High Forest. If that makes sense. Like I was I was part of a nomadic group, but like we stayed in the High Forest a good amount.
Nomadic group.
Hmm?
Does the one who said they were in the nomadic group look hairier?
No.
Normal amount of body hair?
Yep. Look like a
Doesn't
regular
look
human.
any particularly jacked? Okay.
Yeah, like I said, with the perception check, I would have given you those additional details if if they existed.
No, that's fine. Sorry. I'm not trying to metagame, but I'm thinking in overdrive.
Sure.
Right. Well, do you know how Eliezer came across this ritual, this rite of the Wicker Giant?
No, not really. We heard that it came to him in a dream. And we're here now to see what this dream entails. He's very charismatic. There's something about him that just draws us to him.
Damon.
Tell if they're charmed in any way? Or I'd have to detect magic.
Correcto.
Would you mind? I'm curious to see what your elemental affinity is. Would you mind if I just used a wee bit of magic to determine?
That's very weird that you would say that. And as they say that, the guards kind of look at you and kind of hands their swords. Are you guys trying to pick a fight? Is that what's happening here?
Oh, no. As you're not aware, but maybe your friends aren't either, as they're new, we druids have various schools that we follow, or circles. Some are druids of the land, and they have an affinity for a particular environment, maybe water, for your friend from Waterdeep, or you, the forest, or the mountains, based on where you were traveling from when you discovered your druidic nature.
Oh, are you just asking us what kind of rite we're in? What kind of circle we're in? Well, we can just tell you that.
Very well.
Yeah, so Eliezer has brought us into the circle of the Scarlet Moon. If you want to join, you want to give up whatever circle you are, feel free. We'd love to have more members.
Scarlet Moon, Blood Moon, Vampire.
Or werewolf.
Or demons.
No, I'm quite.
I think this dude's a demon.
I am
Demon.
I think you're onto something, honestly.
I'm wondering if I should just offer to join just to get the extra information. Maybe. Depending on, I may need to have a word with this Eliezer myself to have a wee bit more information, but it's a possibility.
Yeah, we'll have to test you a little bit before you can get in, but yeah, we're initiating a lot of new people tomorrow evening.
What kind of test?
Always kind of see how devoted you are, and you know how close you feel how close we feel you are to the circle of the Scarlet Moon, and how willing you actually are to join us. We've had a lot of people come and say, "What?"
It sounds very culty.
This
We're gonna have
this
to
is
like
starting to
sacrifice a
send-
goat or
starting to
something.
send flags off in BigYin's head, and
Sure.
though though he trying not. Do I display this at all? Do I twitch?
Roll deception.
I guess the thing with this too is everybody has been like, "Oh yeah, we've never been here before," so nobody knows what the fuck's going on except for these homies, and they're guarding this guy. Like, why can't we go talk to this dude? You know?
Sure. They don't say anything as you try to keep it together.
Oh,
They're like, yeah.
we'll
So I
see
mean,
about that test then tomorrow.
we're having a big initiation tomorrow evening when we do this ritual. It'd be great. Yeah, if you want to join, just come back tomorrow.
Very well. I may just do that. You have a wonderful evening.
You too. Bye. And they kind of wave you off. Okay. All right. While that was happening, yeah.
Before they get
come
out
back, yeah.
there, like, hey, Lando, let's go for a walk.
Why?
You know, just get some fresh air away from this.
Does it have to be with you?
I mean, yeah, technically.
All right.
All right. You guys go for a walk down south away from this camp area.
Yeah, let's say we get out of earshot. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, we'll say you guys walk for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Are we with them at this point, or
Nope.
are we catching
No,
up?
this was happening while you were talking.
Yeah, simultaneously, but I don't have two different mouths and two different brains to hold those two conversations together. So yeah,
You'll get it. You'll get there one day.
Unfortunate.
I don't know. I don't know if I want that. That sounds really creepy.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right, Lando. I think things are popping up, but again, you know me. I jump at shadow, so I might be going a little far on here. Them two skittish folk that we passed, they were wearing some armor, and I use the in-game term for having more health.
They were
than me.
they were more stout, more
hardier.
They
Yeah,
look pretty
hardier.
tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hard, I think hardier is better. Yeah, tougher
I'm
and
seeing
hardier.
some
Yeah.
sus shit everywhere. You know, I mean,
That's what I'm saying.
I think
right?
we're about to walk into some bad news bears here.
Right. And I just want to let you know, I don't know if riling these folks up now is really a good idea. Maybe
Until what?
tonight.
Until they get all their homies going. And
Well,
like
that's
fucking...
not tomorrow for sure. They seem to be like they're going to be stronger tomorrow.
Like what? We come back tonight or something? Go
That's
back to the treehouse for a bit and come back in the nighttime and just start killing?
Well, maybe not killing. Maybe scouting for at the beginning, checking things out. We don't necessarily know if they are evil. They might be.
Okay.
But I don't want to just like kill some folk.
For funsies, why not?
We do that all the time, so...
Well,
right,
they're
I guess.
cultists though that are taking over townsfolk and letting
Yeah,
demons
or,
in.
all right, I guess, how do we know that these people aren't cultists?
Well, there's been no proof yet. I've been looking. Trust me, I've been looking.
All right.
Closest I got is some druids wearing some armor, which is not a lot to go off of. I'll be honest.
Well, I don't know if they were druids.
Right.
How do you know?
I mean, I don't.
You just have some hairy people wearing armor.
Yeah, I mean, they look like they look like they were trying to look like druids.
Why do you think that is?
To fit in, much like when BigYin was like, "You should take off your armor, so you can look like a druid."
So
like a lie.
Are wearing armor, so they are probably not.
Right, but I don't know a whole lot about druids, so like honestly, who knows?
So yeah, so just to, I don't know if this is like an assumption you made. The armor they're wearing, there is some metal on it, but it's not like chain vest or like a plate mail or anything like that. It's like a mix between like scale mail and leather mail or leather armor that you saw. There is some metal on there, yes, but there is metal on there, yeah. But it's not like a full chain vest or anything like that.
Right, yeah.
And just in terms of just like PLB stuff, not PLB, PHB, I think druids can't even wear any kind of like metal armor. Like we can't even wear like studded leather armor. We have to wear like leather, and that's it.
Right, but in character, Ulrich doesn't know
Yeah.
that shit.
Yeah. But just
Like,
just to add, I guess, additional context, like it wasn't like full metal, but it wasn't. There were
Right.
metal pieces in there. Like it was like scale metal for sure.
So yeah, Ulrich's like, I just want to let you know before anything weird happened, so you didn't start popping off
Well,
or see me
why don't we'll go
on
back
the
to the
verge
tree,
of
we'll come
popping
back
off.
here, we'll wait for a bit, and we'll come back here when it's dark, and then we'll, if we need to do some killing, we'll do some killing.
All right, I do like the way you think sometimes. I'm with you on this one.
All right.
And then make our way back to meet up with the people and see if they got killed by the guards.
They did not. As they approach, I don't know if that's good for you or not, but you see them kind of walking down from the hill as you guys are kind of approaching from the south.
Right.
You
Shall we
duck
go
down
back? Shall we go back to the camp?
Yeah, I think going back to camp's a good idea.
Right. Well, let's go.
Cool. All right, you guys head back to the treehouse.
And then as we're going, once we get back, I'll say, right, let's have a discussion.
And this is where Ulrich kills BigYin. Did you? Sorry, that was mostly just.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a beer.
Yep. He has to grab a beer in real life and in game. For this discussion, Edgar.
Well, I don't know. I didn't actually have beer tonight. It's 9:30, so it's probably too late.
It's all right. That's all right.
I'll go upstairs and knock on Elrond's door.
Hold on, BigYin. Before you go running off to wherever you're going,
I'm just going to get Elward in. I'll be right back. He should hear this too.
Oh boy.
And I'll go get Elward and knock on his door, see if he wants to come down. And
he'll come down. He'll start over here.
I come back down and I say, Mac, you and the lads may want to hear this.
Yeah. So when you say that, Mac and all of them kind of pop up. They're like, yep. And then they're like, oh, yeah, war. And then.
Oh, did they just fuse into the one?
Yeah.
Oh. Hello, Mactheros.
War.
Aye.
Yeah, maybe.
As you see them kind of like morph and form together, something seems a little off about it. Like they're not as cohesive as they usually are.
Yeah. DM, we never really discussed how their mental cohesion would be like as a whole unit versus individualized.
Mm-hmm.
Can I assume that like they're just as like mentally capable? Like, if I do I have to dumb down information for them in the Mactheros form?
No.
Okay.
They just seem to like saying the term war over and over again because this is their war form.
Got it. Okay. Right. So when everyone gathers up, when Ulrich and Lando decide to have a seat, we can discuss.
Oh, yeah.
Ulrich says it, yeah.
So, let's discuss what we've heard at the camp.
Yeah, how about we discuss a little bit prior to what we learned in the camp? Let's start chronologically with information that's been withheld. And work it out from there.
BigYin raises an eyebrow, like withheld.
Yeah, like when you we sort of brushed over this last night, but when you took my blood for ritual without asking me.
I took his blood for ritual?
No, you didn't. The tree did.
Oh.
Which is your spell.
Oh. I mean, that was just so they knew you were on the guest list.
All right. Yeah. Okay, sure. That's what they say, usually. I don't know why they need my blood.
Have they done anything to you?
Not yet. Can they? I don't know. Do you know how this works?
Generally?
You don't? Yeah, right. So, like, you didn't even know the blood was a thing, BigYin. So
that's why I said generally.
Yeah.
That's why I said generally.
I just wanted to make sure, like, it was aware as players that BigYin's player character also didn't know that was the thing.
Right. That's
Yeah,
why
yeah.
Ulrich's like, great, good. All right. Now, also, your god's dead?
I'd say that from what I understand of what I've heard, Pan is no longer a god.
And
Divinity taken away.
you just learned this information. And
Well,
everyone
literally-
seems real cool with it.
Well, apparently, among nature nature deities, divinity is fluid.
Yeah, but I know you're young, but gods don't just disappear all that often.
I am disturbed by the sheer fact that I'm able to do magic and that apparently the entire faith of my own people and Mactheros, I'll gesture over to Mactheros,
War.
seem to be knocked off kilter by this, but I'm not. I
Well,
find this very distressing.
well, yeah,
that-
because
that
you
makes
you got a demon in your head too, which you didn't tell us about. You see, there's like a trend that I'm seeing.
basically, Pan I only learned about officially today.
Officially, what's that mean?
The bastard's been living rent free inside my noggin. Has been telling me several times that Pan is a betrayer, and then he's not really what I think he is, and that he's no longer a god. He said that the third time in my third attempt to reach out to Pan.
And
The
when
first time he
when was
laughed
this? When was this?
DM, how much game time?
5 days
2
ago was the third time I would say,
5
but the
days
first
ago?
time he talked to you about
Like
this,
2
I think it was about 15 days ago.
The first time was 15 days ago. The second time was roughly 7 days ago, and
10
the third
10
time
days, 10
was
days.
no. The second time was 10 days ago.
All
The
right,
third
well,
time
let's
was
hold
5
on.
days.
You said 15 days ago?
Aye, but the first time I got infected, right around the first time I got infected.
Which is when Pan did what now?
Pan hasn't been a god for about 15 days.
Real
Admittedly, it
interesting.
was a voice living in my head rent free that told me that, so I didn't believe it. I didn't trust it.
All right. Okay. All right. So now that's all out there. Anyone have a problem with all this that I'm bringing up? Zanril, Lando.
Do I realize that Elwarin has a thing in his head and hasn't said anything?
I would say no, you probably don't know this.
Okay, that's fine.
I would make the argument L. Warren barely realizes it's there also.
That's fair.
It's only come to him once and he just thought it was a bad dream.
Yeah. So Zanril, Lando, you guys have anything to say about this, or y'all cool with it?
Kinda weird. Just thinking about it, where your magic is coming from.
I have a wee bit of searching to try and understand that. That was my plan for the rest of the day, having a wee bit of a conversation with myself, so to speak. Mac, do you have any input?
Matt Harrell just says war, and as he says the war, you hear all 5 voices kind of in discordant, and they start to shake a little bit,
Well, that's unsettling.
and then they break apart into the 5, and Mac is like, "We can't go back to Macthera." What did you do? Looking at you, pointing at you, BigYin.
You didn't need to yell.
I'll look at Mac and I'll say, I was getting to that, laddie. We have some information specifically regarding Pan. It turns out that Pan did indeed lose his divinity 15 days ago.
About the time that you got infested by a demon.
Mac's sitting there like,
I'm sure they're not related at all.
Conjecture, not causation. Coincidence, not causation.
Yeah, we're full of coincidence in this group.
Mac's sitting there, he's like, "We've been in real time for almost a day. Oh.
And the last time they were in real time was before I got infested.
And that's why they're saying they're like, that's why we're feeling the effects of it now. Okay. Okay.
Wait, no. Actually, I was infested because we opened them up in the tree after I broke the staff, and I gave them the staff.
Hmm.
So, but like in real time, this is maybe the third time they've actually been active.
Mhm.
So,
I would make the argument this is the longest time they've been a tree for when this happened, since this has happened.
So, from what I've heard talking to other druids, Pan crossed somebody or made someone, and whoever we were talking to was unaware of whom he upset. They were unaware of who Pan upset, and he's had his divinity struck from him. And yet, I'll druid craft some flowers onto the table. I can still do magic.
I mean,
As
yeah,
you
it's
do
magic.
that, some of the flowers start to wither a little bit as you do that.
Did that happen the last time I did that?
Nope. First time.
Nocteros, can you leave the tree?
No.
Can you at least step outside of the tree?
No.
Wait, I want to try something real quick. I'll be right back. And I'll get up and I'll walk outside
Hmm?
and I'll druid craft a bush just right here.
Yeah, you get a bush out and it withers a little bit after it's done fully growing out.
What if I move 15 feet from the tree?
Same thing.
Right. It may or may not. I may need a greater distance, but now's not the time to try it.
You good?
Admit it. So that's why you're having trouble not fixing the staff, achieving your war form.
Because
So that's
Pan
what
is no
that
longer a
is.
god. Yes, so I need to find a new patron, but I can't do that while we're tied to you until you find your patron.
Well, doesn't he already have one?
No.
No,
Well,
I never made a deal.
So,
And how do you have powers?
yeah, so that's the question, right?
So you do have one, you just don't know who it is.
Mm,
Damn it!
it doesn't necessarily mean it's a patron. It could.
By
just
patron, I just
be-
meant like god of some sort that you're worshiping or is lending you power by some means.
So you have one then, if you have powers.
Druids don't need patrons.
Maybe that's true in base D&D, but this is
So,
the
like I
DnD
said,
world.
this is what we talked about, right? BigYin, your family drew their power from Pan. Originally.
My traditionally that's where the school has come from, but BigYin being BigYin questioned that.
Sure.
So there's wiggle room as to be like, well, what if what they were handing down was merely tradition and not necessarily true?
Sure. So what I'm saying though is like your understanding of where your powers came from was from a god or deity of nature, deity
That's
of some
fine.
sort, is what I'm saying. Right.
Yeah,
So
that's
now,
fine.
yeah. So that's all I wanted to say. Like that is your knowledge of where your powers have always come from.
Yeah. So the point BigYin is trying to make at this point, as everyone keeps saying, I need a patron, BigYin is like, that may not necessarily be true based on what BigYin has understand through his own kind of questioning of druid
Sure.
tradition and understanding what the other druid traditions are.
Sure.
Weren't
So
you
I don't-
calling to Pan or whatever though the entire time when you needed help with your powers?
Did I ever get an answer? No.
Yes. Didn't that happen?
No, I never actually got an answer from Pan. The only answers I ever got when I succeeded, or even when I failed, when I never got an answer when I failed a roll, and then after I was infected, the only thing I got was, well, the asshole living in my head rent free.
So what if that guy is your guy?
Well, then why wasn't there an answer of like, oh nope, you failed? One does not necessarily posit the other. So BigYin is of the opinion at this point where he's like, I have some searching to understand my own powers. However, regarding this, there's still a fair bit of question about this Rite of the Wicker Giant. No one quite knows what it's from. Apparently it came from to this fellow Eliza in a dream. Now, Ulrich, I noticed you were looking over your shoulder a wee bit at those fellows we passed. I noticed a few strange things as well, with the guards, with the fellows up at the top of the hill. I'll show my cards if you show yours.
Yeah, I'll just share the information since
Sure.
I've already shared it twice now.
Yeah, and I'll pass on the information about the druids and how it looked like they'd wearing their clothes kind of newish. It wasn't quite right. They hadn't like explained that they were new. And I look at Ulrich and I
Now,
say, I'm guessing you had the suspicion that these were
well,
cultists. Well, I'm inclined to agree. And I go on about the thing about the Crimson Moon or the
Scarlet
Scarlet
Moon.
Moon and, a test for loyalty and how devoted I'm willing to be, etc.
now the
etc.
question I got from what you just told me is if they're if they're new, why are they the guards? Shouldn't they be like
They
not
had,
new?
well, they had two rather muscular fighters there who were
Well,
quite
still,
ready,
then why not
ready.
why not 4 guards then? Why are they putting 2 new druids up at the front?
Now,
Ulrich and BigYin. I guess everybody here roll just like an insight check just to see if you guys kind of gather stuff on that.
Information wise, okay.
Yeah, on like why 2 newbies would be up there with guards, for example. Lando. Okay, cool. So yeah, so Ulrich, like as you're kind of like talking it out, it's one of two things in your mind, right? They're cultists, right? And they're hiding something. Or
Right.
the guards aren't druids, right? So they got these newbie druids kind of explaining to people information about this rite and kind of like helping people understand what's going on. And they're trying to also be kind of like the fresh face of the organization of this druid rite to get people to join them, showing that they're eager and excited to be there, which is a very similar tactic to what you what was done in the military, right? You had younger officers, younger people that joined the Mirabar Army. They would go out and recruit if you guys needed it, which was rare and few and far between in your years in the service. But it happened once in a while. You guys had fresher recruits that were more eager and had energy, unlike you, and some of the older folks that were a little bit more gruff, a little bit more. You've been there a longer time, so you've seen a lot darker shit. Where the newer people, probably just fresh out of school, fresh out of training, whatever, officer training, whatever, they had that excitement and that, just kind of that energy that would bring people in. So those are the two trains of thoughts that are going in your mind for that.
Well, and I also reveal I was looking for cultist paraphernalia because they usually got an amulet on them. You know the kind.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't see any of that. And I was pretty hot-guyed. That's what drew me to the fact that they're pretty hairy. Whether or not, again, I don't know if that's a thing. I'm all messed up in my head. But a lot's been going on lately, so I don't even know if I can trust myself.
I'm sorry to have caused you any mental or emotional distress.
Yeah, you know what could
Mind
help
you, it's been
that?
stressful
Tell
for me
us
as well.
tell us things. That'd be real nice. If you were like,
Honestly,
hey, by the way, the shit's fucked up.
it didn't really seem appropriate at the time.
That's crazy. I gotta trust y'all with my life.
Have I not saved it plenty of times already?
Yeah, now until the demon's like, nah, you're mine now, and we all die. You know, he
Well,
could be fucking with you. They're demons.
I've said all I have. Do we have any? Unless we have a plan to proceed for tomorrow.
Well, I'm thinking me and Lando are thinking that we head out cover of night, scout things out while people are sleeping. Maybe get a little closer look.
That sounds like an excellent idea if you sneaky boys want to go out and do that. What time
Yeah,
is it right now?
you sneaky boys.
He says in his full plate armor, clink, clink, clink.
What time is it? What time is it in game time, DM?
Probably noon. Maybe 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Assuming I'm done with what I need to do tonight, maybe I'll go with you.
All right.
Do a wee bit of a shifty and turn into something with some night vision and see what can be seen. Oh wait, I have night vision goggles too. What am I saying?
Yeah. You all can
I have
see in the
not.
dark. Sort of. Yeah, cool. I think let's end it there. Because I'll probably need to have a one-on-one session with El Warren on some things that happened to him, and then he can choose, like I said, in this kind of same roundtable setting on what he wants to divulge about that while you guys are kind of still like mid-conversation here. So
Sounds
sorry.
good.
Yeah, it may feel a little inorganic, and I apologize for that, but it gives El Warren like a chance to speak on like what he was going through and anything he wants to share with you guys while you guys are
It
still
gives
kind
you
of
agency.
discussing.
That's good.
Yeah, and it gives you guys time to then discuss further before it gets evening time, and then you guys adapt to like make a new plan or something like that. So
Yeah.
let's end it right around there. I think that's a good spot. Thanks for coming, guys.
Thank
Good
you.
deal.